to cause some problems for the defense.
Who played well in the offensive line last week?
Up front, we had a difficult matchup, I think, with these guys, more than really the South Carolina group, which we were so worried about because of their quickness and some of the stunts and the things they did. Justin Chase probably stands out in my mind. He's playing the left tackle. He's out there on the island. He's been the most consistent lineman probably to date right now. The other guy we're really, really pleased with Rob Vanderlyn, who has come on, splitting time with Noah because we're trying not to play Noah too much.
Has Justin Chase surprised you at all, Coach, as well as he's played?
Justin Chase was a young man that when I was here with Ruff and McNeil, we tried to recruit, and he made a bad decision and didn't come here and went to a different school. I think it may have had something to do with the releasing of the coaching staff and the changeover at that time. And he went, and I don't know, it didn't work for one reason or the other. There's all those type of stories out there. We knew he had talent, so when he was in the transfer portal, we were excited to get him because Shankwiler had been there at North Carolina State, had seen him, even though he wasn't doing very well or getting on the field, knew he had some talent. So we're not surprised that he's got the talent. We're just really super excited that he's now put it together. I think the COVID year, which has not been very good for hardly anybody, but except for guys getting an extra year, it's really helped him to come back and now get the chance to play his second year.
Well, you mentioned Rob Vanderlyn playing at the right tackle position. East Carolina, down through the years, has not had a whole lot of players from California, so there must be a recruiting story there, Coach. Tell us about that.
It really is just this transfer portal where the situation was we were looking for guys. We saw him. Then we did learn that his father, who's a professor out at Cal Berkeley, had gone to North Carolina State. And so he knew the area, knew what it was like, liked Eastern North Carolina, had talked about his experience in Raleigh to his son. And so they were kind of excited about coming out and just checking it out and seeing what the opportunity was. Rob ended up coming, visiting, really thought this would be a good place for him. He's mentioned many times how nice everybody was here. When I said, how are you doing? And you meeting everybody, he's like, Coach, everybody here is just so nice and so willing to help you out. I love this area. So he's fit in really well.
So, Coach, final question for you. What will your offense have to do to move the ball against this Charleston Southern defense and score some points this week?
Well, I think we got to play hard again, which I think we have been doing for the most part. The other thing is we just got to stay within the game plan. When you play games like this, everybody wants to go out and score, 100 points right away in the first quarter. That's impossible. We're playing a really good team. It's going to play hard. Scores come in waves, what I'm saying? Sometimes you hit them, just like the other night, you get 17 points in 7 minutes. That's the way all sports are, to be honest with you. Baseball's that way, basketball like, football's like that too. So you just got to keep plugging along, keep playing hard, and not make those mistakes that we made the first couple of games.
That's ECU offensive coordinator Donnie Kirkpatrick. And we thank Coach Kirkpatrick and also Coach Harrell for joining us on our Pirate Preview Show. Also, my thanks to the 3 Pirate football players who joined us as well, Miles Berry, Zach Bird, and DJ Ford. My thanks to Jeff Barber, who will be in town Saturday with his Charleston Southern football program. He's the athletics director at Charleston Southern, a Greenville native, former ECU Pirate Club employee, ECU alum. This is a big day for Jeff to bring his program into Greenville, his hometown, to play the Pirates. And a special, very special thanks to Carl Lester Crumpler Sr., who was with us live at UBE. Always great to see Crump, one of the all-time great Pirates, as we all know, in the ECU Hall of Fame and the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame, and still going strong as an employee in the athletics department at ECU. Should be a fun game between the Pirates and Charleston Southern. Yes, folks, it is the Pirates versus the Buccaneers coming up on Saturday at 6 o'clock, and the Pirates will be home back-to-back weeks. East Carolina will also welcome in Tulane for the conference opener. That game is next Saturday, and the starting time has been set for 3:30. My thanks to Shirley Rhodes and also to Clip Brock for producing and engineering our show at UBE. We'll be back at UBE again next Friday at 12 noon with another edition of the Pirate Preview Show. We'll see you at the stadium. Have a great day, everybody.
You've been listening to the UBE Pirate Preview, an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio. Stay tuned for more ECU Pirate Game Day coverage with the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Purple and gold, they are not just colors. They represent a nation of people from all walks of life coming together as one, who are loyal to the code of what it means to be a pirate. A nation of pirates who have a chip on their shoulder, that show grit and determination in times of adversity, and showing a burning loyalty to their crew. Purple and gold are our colors, colors that brand us as pirates. Just as the colors were raised by the pirates that sailed our coast before us, it's our time to do the same, to signal a rallying cry to all pirates. No retreat, no surrender, no quarter. We are the pirates of ECU.
Pirate fans, get ready. It's time to talk ECU football on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Brought to you by Bud Light. The Pirate Radio sports teams will get you ready with a game-winning strategy, live reports from the stadium, a breakdown of all the X's and O's, and all the scores and previews of other games around the country. Let's get ready. It's time for Pirate football on the voice of the Pirate Nation. Now live from the Pirate Radio studios, the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate is on the air.
Welcome in to the Week 4 edition of the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Pirates coming off a win, trying to make it 2 in a row when they host Charleston Southern coming up 6 o'clock. A beautiful day at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. The parents are in town, the fans are ready to roll, and the Pirates trying to make it 2 in a row before they enter conference play against Tulane coming up next Saturday. We got a huge show for you on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate as we'll take you right up to that 6 o'clock kickoff. Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt producing today's program. We've got the voice, Jeff Charles, joining us hour number 1. We'll look back a little bit at last week and also look ahead. What do we know and need to know about these Charleston Southern Buccaneers? We'll break it down with the voice, Jeff Charles, in hour number 1 of our show. Hour 2, the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau, will join us to talk about this game and the other games going on in college football. From a gambling perspective, East Carolina 25-point favorite today at home against Charleston Southern. We'll talk about that and more with Jeff Nadeau at around 3 o'clock. After that, Ronnie Woodward from the Daily Reflector will join us. We'll hear from ECU offensive coordinator Donnie Kirkpatrick and Billy Weaver, all in hour number 2 of our show. In the 4 o'clock hour, Stephen Igo from Hoist the Colors will be live in the Pirate Radio studios. We'll check in with Double B Brian Bailey live out at the stadium and go out to the Pirate Radio tailgate zone and hear from Troy D. We'll do that at 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock on today's program. Also in hour number 4, Blake Harrell, ECU defensive coordinator, talks about the dual threat quarterback for Charleston Southern and what they offer from an offensive perspective. And Brian North will join us as well. We'll make some predictions. We'll have some fantasy picks. And you can be a part of the show as well. Check us out on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Chime in there or on Twitter. Give us your thoughts. What do you think the Pirates will do today, 6 o'clock, when they take on Charleston Southern? We are getting you ready for kickoff. We'll pop the top on the Week 4 edition of the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate next.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe you should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money. Right now, get up to $1,200 off any 5G phone. The choice is yours. Any of our 5G phones with no trade-in or hidden fees. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
I can't live another day without air conditioning. Either you get it fixed or I'm out of here.
What? We have fans. Come on, hon. It's not that bad.
I am hot. The kids are hot. Even the dog is hot. Get the AC fixed or get a new train system installed.
Fine, I'll call Delcor, the service professionals. Is that okay, babe?
Yes, just do it. Like now. Replace our old system or else I may replace you.
Okay, I'll call today and get a new train system because it's hard to stop a train.
Mom, are you really going to replace Dad?
No, he just needs to know who's boss around here.
You're the boss, Mom.
Right now, get $50 off your AC repair by mentioning the code #BeCool. Or go to DelcorINC.com for special train financing offers.
Delcor, the service professionals and marriage savers.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2021 Buick Envision and save over $3,000 or 0% financing for 72 months. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty on all new and pre-owned vehicles.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
This is Xavier Smith, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back for the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner. Be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at PR927FM. You can follow us on Twitter at FreePR927FM. Join the close to 50,000 followers today. Now let's head back into the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, what a beautiful day for some Pirate football. East Carolina, Charleston Southern going at it 6 o'clock at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. East Carolina coming off the come-from-behind win over Marshall, trying to make it 2 in a row, get a 2-2 on the season, a 2-2 September heading into October when conference play begins next week against the Tulane Green Wave. And, man, what a difference a week makes, what a difference 7 minutes and 30 seconds in the fourth quarter makes for East Carolina, because the whole game has changed. Everybody's mood shifted after that ECU come-from-behind victory last week in Huntington. And Jeff Charles was on the call, and Jeff Charles joins us here inside the Pirate Radio studios in hour one. And Jeff, it was funny. Chandler and I were outside for a moment away from the broadcast, so Chandler pulled up your call on the phone, on his phone, and it was Marshall's 5th sack of the game. And we were talking about, and you gave it, and he's going down. Just kind of a dejected, like, here we go again.
And he's going down again.
He's going down again. And at that point, it was like all hope is lost. ECU's in a bind this game. But something flipped there in the fourth quarter, Jeff, and the rally began with a touchdown and an onside, and everything that had to happen happened, and you were there. You know, when you were witnessing that, Jeff, what's that like for you? Were you saying, what the heck's going on out here?
Well, I was like everybody else, Clip. I didn't give the Pirates a whole lot of help in the fourth quarter, and with 7:31 to go, they're still down in the game big time, and then they make the rally and score the 3 touchdowns in the latter part of the fourth quarter to win the game. It was pretty amazing and something you don't see every day. That sack you're mentioning, Holton sacked for the 5th time. You know, he's been sacked 14 times going into the game today through 3 games. So the Pirates are going to have to do something to clean that up. Hopefully they will do that today. But it was a remarkable comeback. And I heard C.J. Johnson on the air with you guys talking about how Holton really rallied the troops and got the offense together and said, guys, don't panic here. We can win the football game. Let's take it a play at a time. We can score touchdowns and come back. And that's exactly what they did. And I was glad to see a couple of more wrinkles out of Donnie Kirkpatrick's playbook that really, I think, was a big part in coming back and winning the football game. So, yes, it was a great win. And 1-2, as we all know, is nothing to write home about. But I'll tell you one thing, Clip, it's a heck of a lot better than be sitting here at 0-3.
No doubt about it. And one thing about Holton, I mentioned it yesterday on Pirate Radio Live. He's very consistent, Jeff. When we talk to him, he has the same tone and the same kind of vibe after a loss as he does after a win. He doesn't get too high. He doesn't get too low. And you really need that with your football players, but especially at the quarterback position, right?
Well, there's no doubt about it. That's a great personality trait that Holton has. I've never seen him upset or yelling or screaming at people or going off on anybody. He's really cool. I think the Pirates have a number of players on this team who are like that are cool under pressure. You look at the kicker, Owen Daffer, who executed the incredible onside kick, and from day one, Coach Mike Houston has told me he's one of the coolest kids he's ever been around. He said he never gets rattled, and they've thrown him in the fire here as a freshman as the kicker. So they've got some guys who, again, do a really good job under pressure that are very poised. And Holton, of course, he's the leader of this football team. There's no question about that, Clip. He is certainly the leader of this team. We talk about what he did offensively and rallying the guys, but when you look at the entire program, everybody in the program really looks to Holton. So he has been struggling up until last week, and we were also pleased to see him have such a terrific game last week. He threw touchdown passes. He ran for a touchdown, as we all know. He had a receiving touchdown. So, I mean, he just did everything.
Jeff Charles joining us, hour one here of the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Jeff, you mentioned Owen Daffer. East Carolina, Rajay Harris runs it in to put the Pirates up 3 points. And I remember at the time saying, man, this is a huge extra point because Marshall's got time. They're going to get back down the field. And I don't know if there's ever been a pressure extra point, but for a young kid like him kicking for the first time, he was able to gut up and hit that extra point. And that turned out to be huge because Marshall could have kicked a field goal there.
Yeah, they could have. They've been struggling a little bit with their field goal kicker.
Saw that again Friday night, actually.
Yeah, actually they did. So they've been using two guys. So I don't know whether they would have kicked a field goal late even if they had the opportunity. But, yeah, you're right. That was huge. And Owen Daffer's done a great job. And what was so good about Owen last week, Clip, is the fact that he was booming the ball into the end zone on his kickoffs. Now, he was having a problem with that the first two games of the year. But then last week he had 5 touchbacks. And that is huge because it seems like everyone these days has a great returner. And we got so spoiled with Jake Verity down through the years where Jake would just boom that baby right on out of the end zone and there was no return. Well, Owen was having a little trouble with that. I think we were all wondering if his leg was strong enough to consistently kick it in the end zone. Well, he answered those critics last week with the 5 touchbacks. So that's something probably a lot of fans don't pay a whole lot of attention to, but that was a big stat after the game that he was able to do that. And Marshall, just like everybody else you play, they have some explosive guys who return kickoffs. And boy, if you can just kick it out of there and they start at the 25 rather than getting a big return, that's a big asset to have on your side.
Great point, Jeff. I don't know if you saw it Friday night, but Rashawn Ali from Marshall had a kick return for a touchdown against Appalachian State. So,
boy, is he good, by the way, Cliff. He is really good.
He is a fast dude. And a lot of speed on the field that night, Jeff, with Ali and all the ankles he was breaking. And then Keaton Mitchell got loose again, Jeff, and he is a blur when he gets out there.
He is. Once he turns the corner and he gets into the secondary, I don't know who's going to catch him. I really don't. He is extremely fast and a good kid, and I think he's just now kind of coming into his own a little bit, Clip, and he's getting more confidence with each week. And the Pirates really do have a thunder and lightning now in the backfield. You've got Keaton. He's the lightning guy, and Rajay, who can also break one as well, but he's a little bigger back, and he's more of the thunder of the two. But it's very encouraging to know that these two guys are going to be in the program for years to come. And Keaton is something you can't coach. I mean, coaches can't coach 4.4, 4.3 speed, whatever he is. And, it's just a wonderful weapon to have when you've got a guy like that who is a home run hitter that every time that he catches the ball, he's a threat to take it to the house.
And how about how it worked out on the UB stat sheet last week, Jeff? Looking at it, Keaton Mitchell, 14 carries, Rajay Harris, 13 carries. Keaton Mitchell, 4 catches, Harris 3 catches. The split they're giving these backs right now, they said it going into the year that it's a 1A, 1B. They don't have a lead back. They have 2 lead backs, and they're using them that way right now, and it's working out for them, and also keeping these guys a little fresher than if they were to get 30 touches in a game.
And, that's the way the game's played these days, Clip. Almost everybody has at least 3 running backs. Now, we've not seen the third running back for the Pirates, who probably right now is Joseph McKay, who is the true freshman from Phoenix City, Alabama, who was a highly recruited kid, by the way, but he just hasn't been able to get on the field as of yet. But you look at all the quality teams that you play against, they all have at least 3 running backs. That's just kind of the way the game is played. It's not played the same way it was back in the day where you had one bell cow. You had a Carlester Crumpler Sr. who was going to get the ball like 35, maybe 40 times a game, and he was your guy. The game has changed so much that now everybody has pretty much 3 guys that they rotate in and out, and they keep people fresh, and that's how we've seen football evolve over the years.
Jeff Charles joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios. A huge win for East Carolina last week. And Jeff, one more note on last week and moving forward. A lot of discussion about ECU's offense and playing with tempo, and we heard some things from the coaches this week. Donnie Kirkpatrick saying they really didn't do much different there late in the game than they were doing earlier. Also, you hear him and Mike Houston kind of say that, well, when we try to go too fast, we make mistakes, we line up wrong, we run the wrong route. So it still sounds like that this coaching staff just doesn't want to go at a hyper speed. But what did you see a huge difference in the offense? I mean, to us, it looked like they were going faster. Donnie says, well, it was kind of the same. What did you think there late in the fourth quarter?
Well, late in the fourth quarter, yes, I did think that they were going faster, but I think sometimes what fans fail to recognize is the caliber of the opponent, Clip, and who you're matched up against. And so often in basketball, we talk about matchups. And in football, we don't talk about it as much. But believe me, it's basically the same kind of concept. And you have to have good matchups at your receiver positions, especially. And you have to have good matchups with your offensive line, being able to protect against good defensive lines and that kind of thing. So the opponent does dictate some things that you are trying to do, and for instance, plays that did not work against South Carolina's defense most likely, hopefully, will work tonight against Charleston Southern, because Charleston Southern is not going to have as good of players on the field as what South Carolina has. So after the game, if the Pirates do take care of business, have some big plays, there will be folks saying, well, why didn't they run that play against South Carolina?
Where was this ECU
Yeah, where
team?
was this? Well, it was because they were playing against South Carolina, and tonight they're playing against Charleston Southern. So there's a big difference, and I think sometimes we overlook that just a little bit, but that's why. So if they open it up again tonight, Cliff, and you see some big plays from the Pirates, it doesn't really mean that the offense has arrived. What it means is they were playing an FCS program tonight.
Jeff Charles joining us. We'll be on the call with Kevin Monroe, Marty Fuhrer, and the crew with the Pirates IMG Learfield Network coming up at 6 o'clock. Game is available to watch on ESPN Plus coming up at 6 o'clock. Rode by my parents' house earlier today and got that set up on their Roku, Jeff, because they had some questions about it. So got that taken care of. Shout out, by the way, happy birthday to my sister Jana, celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday to her. And Shirley, let's take a time out as we go to break. A shout out to Community Calzone, who hooked us up with some awesome pregame food. Community Calzone, Greenville Boulevard, across from Parker's. Let's go around the horn real quick. I went with the West, which is a breakfast calzone. Cheese, eggs, sausage. It was awesome. Shirley, what'd you go with?
I went with the Route 11, which was hamburger, cheese, bacon, salt, and pepper.
I think that's what I went with. Yeah, I've got that one before. That one's really good. Chandler, what'd you get?
I got the Uptown, which is basically like a Philly cheesesteak and a calzone, and I added jalapenos and banana peppers.
Something for everyone. Community Calzone. They also have salads, wings, and they brought us some cookies, which I've yet to dive into.
Oh, really?
Yet.
I didn't see that.
They're back there in the
some
kitchen.
back there.
Community Calzone. You can find them on Greenville Boulevard across from Parker's. Give them a call, 561-7444. It is a great pregame meal, postgame meal, some good football food, some hearty food there at Community Calzone. Let's take a time out, come back. We'll get to know the opponent, Charleston Southern. We'll see what the voice has on this Buccaneer team coming into town 1-1 to take on the Pirates. That's on the way when we return on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Back with you after this.
Well, the secret is out. CD's Grill has the best breakfast in Greenville. Start your day with a made-to-order breakfast Monday through Saturday at CD's Grill. Plus, you can enjoy lunch Monday through Friday. And their lunch specials are always a huge hit. Monday, it's barbecue chicken. Tuesday, pork tenderloin and gravy. Wednesday, chicken and pastry. Thursday, barbecue pork chops. And Friday, it's spaghetti. CD's Grill on Fire Tower Road in Winterville, near Evans Street. Stop by CD's Grill for the best country cooking around.
Public notice, Discount Mattress Furniture, Greenville, 1501 Evans Street. Everything must go up to 75% off. Living rooms, bedrooms, diners, purple swivel chairs, ECU, $99. Desk chairs, $10. Queen mattresses, $199. Sofas, much more. Discount Mattress and Furniture up to 75% off. 1501 Evans Street in Greenville, and I'll see you there!
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Hello, this is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now's the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage at historically low rates. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Holton Ahlers, and I couldn't do my job without my offensive line keeping me safe. Make sure your employees are safe by using ArcPoint Labs for your medical testing needs. From pre-employment testing to COVID test, ArcPoint Labs is there to serve Eastern North Carolina with accurate, reliable, confidential testing. Schedule an appointment at any of their 6 Eastern North Carolina locations or visiting them online at arcpointlabs.com. Go Pirates!
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Jamie Cuccinella, inviting you and your family to come by Cuccinella's Pizzeria and Italian Ice. Cuccinella's has been serving our special family recipe New York-style pizza since 1932. We think you'll taste the difference in just one bite. When you come in for a pie, don't forget to try our house-made Italian ice or gelato. We make small batches every day from scratch with all fresh ingredients. Cuccinella's on Old Tar Road across from Plant and Sea, Cuccinellas.com, and on Facebook and Instagram.
This is Mike Houston, head football coach at East Carolina University, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show. Now, with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, LSU is leading Mississippi State 21-3 in the third quarter. Also in the third, number 12 Notre Dame and number 18 Wisconsin are tied at 10 apiece. Number 2 Georgia has a 55-0 lead over Vanderbilt in the third quarter. Number 6 Penn State leads Villanova 24-3 in the third. Richmond is trailing Virginia Tech 21-10 in the start of the fourth quarter. There's a shootout between SMU and TCU. The Mustangs lead the Horned Frogs 35-24 in the third quarter. Texas routing Texas Tech 49-14 in the third, and Coastal Carolina has a 35-0 lead over UMass in the second quarter. And that is a look at your Buck scoreboard, brought to you by the Buccaneer Music Hall. It's your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in Eastern North Carolina. They're open from noon until 2 a.m. with live music every night, and now during football season they have food trucks during the day. Follow the Buck on Facebook and Instagram for an updated schedule, and we'll see you at the Buck. Now let's head back into the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Barrage.
All right, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. The Buck, by the way.
The Buck.
That would be a big win for SMU on the road there at TCU, up 35-24, 7:09 left. We got Wisconsin Notre Dame on here in the Pirate Radio studios, 10-10 in the third quarter, as Shirley said, and Georgia was a 35-point favorite today against Vanderbilt. They had 35 points in the first quarter. They have 55 right now. It is 55-0. That is a conference game, Georgia and Vandy. Some games coming up at 3:30, Clemson and NC State. Clemson has been a little shaky on upset alert today in Raleigh. Michigan Rutgers is the national game on ABC, and Louisville, Florida State coming up as well at 3:30 on ESPN2. East Carolina, Charleston Southern coming up at 6 o'clock at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. And Voice, kind of tougher to get a gauge on an FCS opponent. We just don't see them a whole lot. There's not as many resources available to find out information on them. So what do you know, Jeff, about this 1-1 Buccaneers team we're going to see today?
Well, let's start with the local connection first, Clip. There are 6 Eastern North Carolina kids on this team at Charleston Southern that will be in the stadium today. Jacob Tilsky is from Jacksonville. Demetrius Jones is from Jacksonville. He's from Northside, and Demetrius is their leading receiver. He has 9 catches coming in, big target. He's 6'4". Jordan Livingston is the defensive back from Beaufort. Ben Harris is a receiver from right here in Greenville at Rose High School. Joshua Crump is an offensive lineman from Vanceboro, and Chandre Mims is also from Vanceboro, from West Craven. And Chandre is one of their better defensive players. He's a defensive end on this team. So you've got 6 Eastern North Carolina kids here today, and you know they'll play with their hair on fire. I know some of them went to camp here and were in ECU's camps, and then, of course, went on to Charleston Southern to compete. And also, as we've talked the last couple of days, and as you've heard on the air, Jeff Barber, who's a dear friend. We had breakfast together today. Jeff and I worked at ECU together back in the late 80s. He is the athletics director at Charleston Southern. He's doing a wonderful job there. And this is a big game for Jeff as well. He has family here in Greenville. His wife Donna made the trip with him. And I know he's really pumped and excited to be here. He loves ECU. He loves Greenville. He grew up here. This is his hometown. He played basketball at J.H. Rose, and his dad was a businessman in town. And then, of course, he went on to school here and started his athletic career. And so Jeff's excited about bringing his program, if you will, back into town. So the local connection is pretty strong with this Charleston Southern team. Now, to answer your question about what do we know about them, well, we know they've got a really good, quick, elusive quarterback by the name of Jack Chambers, who is a veteran player, and he can hurt you with his feet and he can hurt you with his arm. He's got a pretty good arm. He's not very big. He's 5'10" and 180 pounds, but he throws it well, 61% through the air, 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception, and he can run the ball too. He's quick. He's elusive. He's run for 108 yards. So he's really at the top of the scouting report as far as the Pirates are concerned. Their best offensive lineman, if you're going to the game today, watch number 55, Preston Nichols, their left tackle. He is from West Mac in Charlotte. He's a veteran performer as well. Redshirt junior, very good offensive lineman, is a very good player for them. And then they have a receiver who's kind of a Blake Prohl type from last year, Garris Schwarting. He caught 4 touchdown passes against the Citadel, and he's a guy that can get open and cause some problems. They also have one player in the secondary that they tell me, Clip, could play for anybody in the country. His name is Cody Klein. He's from Concord, North Carolina, and he was a third-team freshman All-America at the FCS level. He's a first-team All-Big South player. Good size for a free safety. He's 6'1", 208. He's a very good player in the back end for them, and probably their best defensive lineman is Anton Williams
who's 6'3", 250, graduate student from Mariana, Florida, and he's also a player who could probably play at a higher level. So they've got some talent, they've got some players, and the Pirates just can't show up. They got to come out and play really hard and win this football game.
They took care of business against the Citadel, beat them pretty good, and then Jeff lost to a ranked FCS opponent in Monmouth, and Monmouth was able to go away in that one. So they've kind of yet to play a close game, it looks like, in the fourth quarter thus far. One blowout win, one blowout loss for this Charleston Southern team. One more note on the quarterback Chambers, Jeff. We talked to David Shelton from the Post and Courier earlier this week, covers Charleston Southern. He said a lot of his rushing yards have come from the scramble. There's not too many designed runs, so that makes it even tougher, right? It'd be a lot easier if you could prepare for some quarterback draws, some read option, but it sounds like he does most of his damage when a play breaks down. That's tough to prepare for and something ECU's going to have to watch out for today.
Yeah, I think that's extremely the case, Clip, and he's quick, and he's very elusive, and he can give the Pirates some problems with his feet. And again, he throws the ball a little bit better than what I think maybe some people think. But he's a veteran guy. He's been through the wars. He's a young man from Lilburn, Georgia. I know that Mike Houston knows all about him because when Mike was the head coach at the Citadel, he recruited him out of Georgia High School. So, yes, there's some familiarity there as well. And this is a great opportunity for him as a redshirt senior to make a statement and come in here and play a really good game. So we'll see what the Pirates can do with him.
Have heard the questions and been asked, how does East Carolina get up for a game like this? Well, hey, they can't take anybody lightly the way ECU's record has been over the years. But, Jeff, one man that really wants to win this game is the head football coach, Mike Houston, because he is 0-3 against this Buccaneers team from his days at the Citadel. So, no doubt he's going to have the guys motivated. He's going to remind them of what his personal record is against this team, how good this team can be, and how much he wants to win this game today.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Jamie Chadwell was the coach at Charleston Southern, the same Jamie Chadwell who's doing great things at Coastal Carolina, has them, of course, in the top 25 this year. They had the great season last year, and that guy's a really good coach, and you hear a lot of people around the country talking about Jamie Chadwell. Well, he got his start as a head coach at Charleston Southern and did a really good job there. So, yes, Mike knows all about it. These two schools are not very far apart, both located in Charleston, South Carolina. And, Charleston, South Carolina is a good city for sports. It's a beautiful city to begin with. But for sports, Clip, you've got the Citadel, you've got Charleston Southern, you've got the College of Charleston, which has an outstanding basketball program. And John Crest did a great job there all of those years. You got the Charleston River Dogs in baseball. They're playing the Wood Ducks.
Woody's got to win last night, so
yes.
The series rolls on.
Yes, the River Dogs have been there for years and years. So they got minor league baseball there, and then they've got the hockey team there as well at a beautiful Coliseum, North Charleston Coliseum, which the Pirates have played basketball in down through the years. So it's a sports city with those schools and some pro teams down there. And, yes, Mike knows all about that. I know he enjoyed living in Charleston. I think folks who live there really do enjoy it. It's a beautiful city. And he knows all about Charleston Southern. So I'm sure he has gotten his players' attention this week that these guys are capable.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit of that, Shirley. Mike Houston, 3 from earlier in the week. First talking about Chambers, the dual-threat quarterback. This is cut 3.
It's a challenge. I mean, it changes everything. It's the most dangerous thing, and I'm a defensive kind of mindset guy. So I mean, to me that's the most challenging thing because he is very dynamic with the ball in his hands. He can make something out of nothing, and so you have to account for him every single play. And so he did some good things last week. He really played well against the Citadel. He's an experienced kid. I mean, he graduated from high school in 2016, so he's an older guy, very experienced. So we got to do a great job with him Saturday.
Houston went on to talk about some other weapons and concerns about facing this team cut 4, Shirley.
Well, I mean, I think they got a couple of receivers that do a great job. Great job catching the football, making plays. Those are older guys. I think the young running back, I was very impressed with him in each of the first 2 games. Offensive line wise, I think that they are much improved from what they were a couple of years ago. Very solid there. Defensively, fundamentally sound, play really, really hard. It's a good scheme, and so it's they're a good football team. I mean, they come from a good conference at the FCS level. I know them very, very well. I know that conference well, and we're going to have to play really well on Saturday.
And as Jeff and I referenced earlier, a lot of history between Mike Houston and this Charleston Southern team. Cut 7, Shirley. He talked about those past meetings, and looking forward to today.
Well, it was always a big game for us when I was at that level, and it's no matter who we were playing, and so the kids, they always got up for those games, and so I have no doubt we're going to get their best shot. They're a well coached football team. We don't need to do anything different. I mean, we got to prepare for them no differently than we did. Appalachian, South Carolina, Marshall, anybody else on our schedule. We got to prepare the same way every week. Because you can't cheat the game, and that's been one of my things all week with the kids is you can't cheat the game. You got to put in the work. If you don't put in the work, you're not going to get the results. And so for us, it really does not matter who we're playing. We got to prepare at a certain level, and we're going to play to a certain standard, and that's our expectations.
I like the message from Mike Houston. He's drilling into his team. And, Jeff, another thing, East Carolina's got to do something they haven't had to do a lot of in recent years, and that's handle success. We talk about the 24-hour rule after a loss. This week, it's reversed. The Pirates can't get too high after that come-from-behind victory against Marshall. It would be easy to do that, but for these guys, they got to stay focused, and hopefully they got back to work and got prepared for this one.
What did Steve Logan used to say? The toughest thing is to handle a pat on the back. Well, guys have had a lot of pats on the back
no doubt
this week as they've gone around campus and interacted with folks, and everybody's told them what a great comeback it was and how great they are. Well, you've got to put that behind you, as Coach mentioned, and we'll see if the Pirates have done that. I really think that they have. They've had good practices this week. Clip, I was out of practice on Thursday and thought the guys were really focused, and I walked off the field with Coach Houston. He said, yes, we've had good practices this week. Now, sometimes that always doesn't carry over to kickoff, so we'll have to wait and see, but I think they're pleased with their preparation this week.
Joining us is Jeff Charles, and also you folks joining us here on the Facebook Live chat. Johnny's our basketball guy, Jeff. Every time I goes here, he has a basketball question about recruiting, but he's got a basketball connection to this game, he said, Cody Klein was a heck of a basketball player on a loaded Cox Mill High School squad. There's your basketball connection for today's game.
Okay,
so there you go.
Sounds good. I might have to use that on the air.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny, our basketball guy, checking in on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Let's get another break in. We'll come back. We'll go over the Orthopedics East injury report. When we talked to you last week, Jeff, you talked about a lot of banged-up offensive linemen for East Carolina, so we'll get an update on that. Mike Houston talked about Elijah Morris earlier in the week. We'll hear that as well, about how he's doing right now, and get an update on that Orthopedics East injury report. We'll also have more on your Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. And if you are going to the game and need a place to park, how about call or text 252-917-3501. You can call or text and reserve a spot for the game today or for the rest of the season. It is on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Elm Street, a 10-minute walk to the stadium. It's a grass lot, porta potty on site. 917-3501. Call or text if you need some parking. $20 parking for the game today, East Carolina and Charleston Southern. One more segment to go with the voice, Jeff Charles. We're back with you after this.
Hey Pirates, this is Holton Ahlers. A big part of my success on the field is what I eat at home. To keep my body filled up, I order meals off a Clean Eats meal plan. I choose the meals I want from 6 different meals offered each week, and I pick them up on Sunday or Monday at the cafe on Red Banks Road. Each meal is packed with the perfect mix of healthy proteins, carbs, and veggies to keep my engine running at full speed. Go to CleanEats.com, click on meal plans, or stop by the cafe and get all the info. Clean Eats and the Pirates, a winning combination.
In studio with Gloria from Kinetic Physical Therapy. Gloria, what is cryotherapy?
Cryotherapy is when your body is exposed to extremely cold but therapeutic temperatures for several minutes. It has many benefits, including decreased pain, decreased inflammation, increased energy, and improved overall wellness. That's why at Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness, we offer a wide variety of services, including cryotherapy. So whether you're an athlete or whether you just want to give your health a boost, cryotherapy will help to ensure that you're feeling great and living well. So come chill with us and you'll be back for more.
Have you been waiting to try CBD? ENS Hemp on Fire Tower Road in Greenville is the area leader in CBD. We want to educate you on how our products work with your endocannabinoid system. These products are all natural and non-addictive. ENS offers a variety of products to meet your needs. Tinctures, edibles, topicals, and even smokable items. Customer feedback indicates relief from stress, anxiety, fatigue, pain, and PTSD, just to name a few. ENS Hemp is located on Fire Tower Road. Also, check us out on our Instagram and Facebook pages.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Hello, this is Michael McGraw from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center of Greenville. We offer a variety of services including arthroscopic surgery, sports medicine, carpal tunnel and general orthopedics, fracture care, total joint replacement, physical therapy, and on-site MRIs. For experienced professional medical care, visit our office on W.H. Smith Boulevard in Greenville and online at orthoeast.com. Orthopedics East providing services to ECU and Pitt County Athletics for over 35 years. Go Pirates!
Come pop a top this ECU football season at Jarvis Street Bottle Shop. Jarvis Street Bottle Shop is a specialty shop selling craft, domestic, and import brews, along with wine and growlers. Hosting a tailgate? Stop by the shop and grab a keg for your party or event. The Bottle Shop offers monthly beer and wine tastings featuring rotating NC craft breweries, along with live music and discounts. Stop by the shop Tuesday through Sunday or check them out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
This is Big John Williams, strength and conditioning coach for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? You can listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or Spotify. Subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device and search for Pirate Radio Audio Archives. Now let's head back in to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Rolling right along, hour one on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. One more segment to go with Jeff Charles. Thanks to Community Calzone for the awesome pregame food. You can check them out on Greenville Boulevard across from Parker's. They have breakfast calzones, cheesesteaks, Italian. Oh, Chandler's going to town on one of the cookies. I have yet to get one of those. You give it a positive score there, Chandler?
11 out of 10.
All right, 11 out of 10 on the Chandler Honeycut Cookie scoreboard there, our resident cookie expert. Community Calzone providing us with some awesome pregame food here on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Jeff Charles is alongside. Jeff, let's get an update on the Orthopedics East injury report. And I say this every week now that we don't get a traditional list from the coaches because they don't have to, so they don't do it. So, Jeff, obviously Bailey Malovic out for the year for East Carolina. Let's go with the O-line first, because last week before the game you told us that, yeah, there's going to be some guys playing, but they're not 100%. So where are we with the O-line right now?
Well, I think there are still some guys playing that aren't 100%, and I'll start with Noah Henderson, the right tackle. Noah, as we all know, has had a history of back injuries and back problems, and those back injuries have flared up on him again this year, Clip. What they're trying to do with him is trying to limit him to about 30 or 40 plays a game instead of being out there for 60 or 70 or whatever. And that's probably what we'll see again today from him. It's just that back flares up on him and it gives him problems. And so Rob Vanderland has been a pleasant surprise at that backup right tackle spot. Young man from junior college, went to Oregon State. Actually went to Oregon State first, then went to junior college, and now he's at ECU in his first year, so he's playing more of a role, and he's almost now splitting time with Noah Henderson at that right tackle spot. Avery Jones has been a little banged up. Of course, he played last week. He's another one on the offensive line. So you're right. It's tougher to get information these days than it used to be. And I listen to radio networks across the country, and it seems like every network I listen to in their pregame show, they have a segment that is sponsored like ours by Vidant Health, and they don't have much information either. So it doesn't make me feel bad that we don't have a whole lot of information to give, because coaches around the country just aren't giving out much information as far as injuries are concerned. So we hear things through the grapevine and we try and pass those along, but it's a little bit of a ticklish situation now with revealing injuries to the public.
A name on your board I just looked at there, Aaron Ramsour is one of these guys that Blake Harrell has talked about, just trying to get him 100%. And Jeff, when he's been on the field, he's been a playmaker. He's made some plays. The problem is he's always seemed to have something nagging him, and that seems to be the case right now.
It is. Good point, Clip. And I talked with Coach about him this week, and they say that straight ahead he's okay, but he's having a little trouble going side to side. He's got a hip issue, I believe. So that has slowed him up just a little bit. And Elijah Morris, he was down again last week a time or two in the Marshall game. And I don't believe he's 100% either, but he's probably going to play today. So those are pretty much the guys that have been banged up, and thank goodness there's not been, with the exception of Bailey Malovic, any year-ending injuries for this football team this year. So the guys have been able to get through this thing pretty healthy, and you just keep your fingers crossed that they can continue to do that. Surad Ware has been playing very well on the defensive line, because they've had a couple guys that have gotten banged up, and he's been able to step up and do a really nice job. So they've got good depth, Clip, and we've talked about this, both the offensive line, especially the defensive line, even more than the offensive line, has more depth this year. So when somebody goes down, they usually do have a warm body there who can come in.
Jeff Charles joining us. Jeff, another name, you talk about Surad Ware stepping up this year. Tegan Wilk has been all over the field, and we've seen that in the last couple of games, him helping to force turnovers, and just seems like there's three of him running around every time he's on the field. He's been a really big kind of out-of-nowhere star for East Carolina this year.
Yeah, he has. He's out of Berwick, Pennsylvania, was a three-star recruit coming out of high school. In fact, I had not talked with Tegan until the postgame show on the radio network last week, and we usually try and have 3 or 4 players on, especially after victories, and Tegan showed up. The first time I've had a chance to talk with him, but yeah, he's a baller. He's a really good player, and people say, well, he's 5'11", 190 or whatever, but he knows how to play, and he's a really good football player, maybe a Damon Magazoo kind of guy, and it was good to see him run around and make some plays. And then how about Miles Berry last week? Yeah. I can't even imagine going through what he went through. His father passed away. His father had COVID and passed away in Greensboro, and I think sometimes we forget how young these guys are. I mean, they're only 19, 20, 21 years old. I think we can all relate it when we were that young. If you lose your dad, that's really, really hard. And Miles went through that. He's an only child, by the way. And so it's just Miles and his mom. And really good family. He's a really first-class kid. Really enjoyed getting to meet him. And he went through a tough time. And then he goes out there and he makes 7 tackles.
Yeah, second leading tackler.
And then, of course, they gave him the game ball. And I don't know what more you can say about that young man. It was just a remarkable performance.
Yeah, his maturity is unbelievable to hear him talk this week and handle himself the way he has. And it was nice talking to his teammates, too, on Monday, Jeff, in the players' lounge. Just Bruce and Xavier and those guys, and how they call him. You say he's the only child, but he's got a lot of brothers, Jeff, because these guys have really rallied around him. It's been great to see.
Yeah, Zach Bird in particular. We just had Zach on Pirate Radio here an hour or so ago, and he was talking about how Miles is his brother, and everybody was really again there for support and had an arm around him, and it was just great to see. That's what's great about sports, Clip, and probably football more than other sports, is it really is a brotherhood.
Yeah.
And these guys are really close. They just spend so much time together, and they go through the ups and downs on the football field, and then they get to know each other, and they know each other's problems and what's going on with individuals off the field as well. So it is a close-knit group, and when adversity hits, it's really nice to have that support.
Jeff, I'm hoping we see a lot more names on the field that are not on your board today, and that would be because East Carolina could get a lead and maybe get some other guys in. And it's weird to ask a coach about that, because if they answer it, it's almost like they're saying, well, yeah, we're going to blow this opponent out. But I know the coaches want to see Pop get some carries, and maybe Mason Garcia, Stubblefield, Flynn, somebody else take some snaps at quarterback. We'd love to see some of these backup offensive linemen, defensive linemen in. And Jeff, you don't get many opportunities during a season to do that. I hope today could be one of those days.
Well, it's always great for team morale when that happens, Clip, because these guys work so hard, they practice so hard, they want to get on the field and play, and the Pirates just haven't been able to get some of the backups in yet. So, yes, I hope that is the case, too. You'd like to see them rewarded for all of their hard work by getting some playing time. And, yes, maybe we might see Pop McKay. We might see Lorenzo Dorr. Remember, he showed up here very late to transfer from West Virginia. And Jamani Wilson has been getting on the field. They've got him listed as the fifth-string running back. He's a transfer from Marshall. He's been playing on special teams. So he played back at Marshall last week. And then there's some other receivers have kind of disappeared a little bit this year. And I'm talking about Cam Burnett, who played quite a bit last year, made some catches. He's the Furman transfer. Taji Hudson has not played very much this year. They're getting the tight ends into the game, but you just don't hear about them because they're not catching passes. Zach Bird has not had a catch.
They gave a lot of credit to Bird, though, last week on the Rajay touchdown, Jeff, doing a good job blocking and things like that we really don't see.
No, exactly. I mean, they're doing a really good job in blocking. You see them come into those different packages, but they just haven't been able to get the ball to them so far. So, yeah, I'm with you, Clip. It'll be great to see, hopefully, some of those guys that stand out on offense get a chance to play a little bit more. And defensively, I'll tell you what, my spotter, John McCormick, goes a little bit nuts because the Pirates are just playing so many defensive linemen. I only put 10 on my board, and there are probably, 14, 15 guys who are getting in the game. So they just keep rotating them in and out constantly.
What are we, 2 years removed, Jeff, from Alex Turner and those guys playing every single snap?
It was almost like Alex against the world day, remember?
Yeah, I mean, and what shows what a great job they've done to kind of stock the talent there at that position. It was a couple years ago when they brought in all those defensive linemen, and now it's starting to pay off on the field, Jeff. So that is certainly a positive. Jeff, when you're on the road and we talk to you on the phone on the Fixed NC Live line, we always get a weather report from you, and man, you're going to have a good one today, it looks like. A beautiful day.
Absolutely gorgeous for the day today. It's starting to feel like football weather, isn't it, Clip? And here we are, the end of September, and hopefully the heat and humidity is out of here, and we can start thinking about fall football and cooler temperatures, and it's going to be great. And let's face it, weather plays a factor in attendance. And those really, really hot days in early September, a lot of folks don't want to come out and sit in that heat. And then when it gets to November, a lot of people don't want to come out and sit in the cold either. So nobody has an excuse for this one, Clip. No excuses. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's perfect. So let's see if the Pirates can have a great crowd today.
Yeah, if you're a fair weather fan, you are at this game because the weather is beautiful, great kickoff time, and a very winnable game for the Pirates. They are 25-point favorites coming up in their game 6 o'clock against Charleston Southern. And Jeff, you want to win every game, you want to run the table, all that, but a lot of folks, myself included, said, hey, a 2-2 September would be pretty good heading into conference play, and that's where East Carolina, that's what they've set themselves up for after that win last week.
Well, again, a huge win, and that's why they are looking at an opportunity to go 2-2. I think even the coaches, even though they wouldn't say it publicly, I think they were hoping to be 2-2 at this point going into next week. And Tulane, as we all know, he is really good, they've had East Carolina's number. They've won 3 games in a row in the series, but it's still not like you're playing Cincinnati or UCF right off the bat. So the Pirates should be able to match up pretty well against Tulane next week. We'll talk a lot more about that next week. But, they're so well coached. Willie Fritz is a great coach, and I've always liked coaches in this profession, Clip, who pull themselves up by their bootstraps, that maybe don't have that pedigree or that big name, but guys who have actually started at the high school level and coached maybe junior college, small college, made the moves. Willie Fritz is one of those guys. Mike Houston has a similar background to Willie Fritz. These guys have pulled themselves up by their bootstraps in the profession. And I think oftentimes those guys make the best coaches. I know Willie Fritz is a heck of a football coach because Tulane is a tough place to win, and he's gone down there and he's won. And so you got to give him a lot of credit. He's a lot like Coach Houston. He has won everywhere he's been, just like Mike has won everywhere that he has been. And it just doesn't happen by accident. There's a reason for that, and the reason is these guys are good football coaches.
Jeff Charles joining us. Jeff, we'll let you get out to Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. He'll be on the call with Kevin Monroe, Marty Fuhrer, and the folks on the Pirates IMG Learfield Network later on. The game can be seen on ESPN+. Jeff, have a fantastic call today, and we will talk to you again next week.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me, Clip.
The voice, Jeff Charles, kicking off the Bud Light pregame tailgate with us. We got a big hour 2 on tap where we'll talk about this game and other games from the gambling perspective with Jeff Nadeau. Ronnie Woodward will join us inside the Pirate Radio studios. You'll hear from Donnie Kirkpatrick, Pirates offensive coordinator, and my fifth quarter co-host, Billy Weaver. It's all ahead on the Bud Light pregame tailgate hour 2. We're back with you after this. The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has something for everyone, like New York-style pizza, lasagna, chicken, veal, or eggplant parmesan, homemade meatballs, plus a variety of seafood selections and favorites, like the steak burger and southern pork chop. If you need food to go, Familia's drive-thru window is open and ready for all takeout orders. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
Blue 42! Blue 42!
Unlike football, life doesn't take a timeout, and anything can happen at any time. Unfortunately, anything isn't always a good thing. You need auto and life coverage, and agents there for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You need North Carolina Farm Bureau insurance. Timeout? Not even in our vocabulary.
Pirate fans, call Brian Coleman or CJ Messerly at 756-3007.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company. Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. An independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Ahoy, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express. We're here to serve our pirate community by offering easy payments for easy ownership. For you landlubbers, R&R will install a new set of tires for just $20. $50 installs new custom wheels and tires. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
Eastern North Carolina's choice for window tinting, signs, graphics, wraps, graphic design, and more is Signs and Tint. Signs and Tint is family owned and operated right here in Greenville, and their NC licensed electricians specialize in ceramic coating, vehicle wraps, and more. Signs and Tint offers 10% off for military and first responders. Also, make sure to mention Pirate Radio at checkout for a discount. Stop by their office today at 801 Staten Road or visit them online at signsandtint.com.
Pirate Nation, the newest sports bar is Quarters Bar and Grill, offering gourmet burgers, hot dogs, and wings with unique flavors Greenville has never seen. Pirates like to drink too. Quarters Bar and Grill offers a selection of 10 beers on tap and over 50 different craft beers. Come check us out at Quarters Bar and Grill, open Wednesday to Sunday, 11 to 11, located at the shopping center next to Krispy Kreme. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram and be on the lookout for Quarters Cash hidden around downtown Greenville. Quarters Bar and Grill, the plunder never tasted so good.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show. Now, with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, number 12 Notre Dame is clinging to a 3-point lead over 18th-ranked Wisconsin, 16-13 in the fourth quarter. LSU has extended their lead. They've tacked on a touchdown. They now lead Mississippi State 27-10 in the fourth. Number 6 Penn State has a comfortable 38-10 lead over Villanova in the fourth quarter. And Texas has hung 70 points on Texas Tech. They lead it 70-28, and still plenty of the fourth quarter left to go in that game. Number 2 Georgia shutting out Vanderbilt 62-0 in the fourth. This game just became a final. Virginia Tech wins over Richmond 21-10. SMU adds another touchdown. They lead TCU 42-27 in the fourth quarter. Coastal Carolina leads UMass 36-0 in the second quarter. Boise State has a 17-0 lead over Utah State in the fourth. Miami cruising at halftime 49-0 over Central Connecticut State. And Temple beating up on Wagner right now 41-7 in the fourth quarter. That is a look at your Buck scoreboard, brought to you by the Buccaneer Music Hall. It's your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in eastern North Carolina. They're open from noon until 2 a.m. with live music every night, and now during football season, they have food trucks during the day. Follow the Buck on Facebook and Instagram for an updated schedule, and we'll see ya at the Buck. Now let's head back into the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, Notre Dame tacked on an extra point. They are up 17-13. Wisconsin kicked a field goal, and then Chris Tyree had a 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. The ensuing kickoff, Wisconsin has a big return and a late hit, so now they have it in Notre Dame territory. So things cranking up a little bit in what has been a pretty boring defensive game. Now things opening up at Soldier Field in Chicago as Wisconsin now driving on Notre Dame right around midfield as they'll get the ball down by 4. It is, kind of a blowout Saturday going on. 62-0 Vanderbilt. You talked about Texas. 70-28, and there's 13:23 left in the game.
I know. That's what I was saying. There's plenty of time left.
Holy
in the fourth
moly!
Quarter. Yeah.
The Buck, by the way. Sorry, Chandler. Sometimes I have to actually talk about the games, and I forget. It slips my mind.
It's totally fine.
We'll keep you up to date on everything going on across the college football landscape. Do we have a guest on the line? We do not at the moment. So, waiting on Jeff Nadeau. We'll talk to him coming up shortly.
Training.
He's got a fight coming up in December. Rough and rowdy. So yeah. Maybe he's getting his training in.
Are they going to put a Jeff Nadeau statue beside the Rocky one in Philly?
I have run those steps, by the way.
These are great questions that hopefully we can ask.
While singing the theme song to Rocky.
I'll have
Which,
him.
by the way, did you know that the Rocky statue, because I did not know this, but did you know that the Rocky statue is, I always thought it's at the top of the stairs, or the steps that he runs. It's actually not. It's off to the side.
Stat to consider.
Here's your
fact to consider.
A little nugget you may not know.
Bill Burr has a great
nugget to
Philadelphia rant that I can't repeat hardly any of it on the air, but he makes fun of Philadelphia for having a statue of a made-up guy.
Yeah. But he's there, and let me tell you, the line when the last time I went up there and I wanted to get a picture with the Rocky statue, and the line was so long, I just said, forget it. I'll just run the steps and do that.
Well, let's talk to a guy from near Philly, Jeff Nadeau, as he'll join us to break down the college football action on this Saturday, including East Carolina and Charleston Southern. The Pirates are a 25-point favorite in this game coming up at 6 o'clock. We'll talk to the big man on campus right now, Jeff Nadeau. Jeff, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, Clip. How are you?
Doing good. We said we were waiting on your call, and Chandler said you might have been training for the fight in December. You getting in some punches on the bag or something?
No, I was in there yesterday.
There you go. Good deal.
I'm usually doing like 5 days a week right now, but I mean, I'll go out and work out in a little bit, but no, I'm not doing any boxing today.
Jeff Nadeau joining us, big man. Let's talk about what's going on today in college football. Let's start with the Pirates, Jeff, who It seems like every year you get a pretty good read on East Carolina, and at some point during the year you say, well, I'm out on the Pirates for the rest of the year. And then they go and do what they did last week, a miraculous comeback against Marshall to pick up that win. Now today against an FCS team in Charleston Southern, the Pirates are 25-point favorites, Jeff. Don't know if you have any interest in this game one way or the other, but what do you think about that line?
Yeah, I mean, this is a game where you have to be looking at it as kind of those, kind of get right. Not that they have to get right, but kind of keep going and get a big win under your belt. This shouldn't be close. It can't be close. I mean, you've got to be looking at this, and look, this is what's kind of rough about that loss to South Carolina, because you look at this as like a 3 or 4 game stretch where you could have had 3 or 4 wins.
Yeah,
obviously you're going to get a win today. It's really a question of by how many. I wouldn't be taking the points in games like this. I mean, I think 25 is probably a bit low, frankly. ECU's got to use, obviously, their confidence after last week, and being at home, this should be, 48-10. I mean, that's what you need to be. Look, it needs to be a good defensive battle. You can't give up more than, 10, 13 points to a team like this. It's just they're not on the same planet as you. Holton Ahlers should, throw for a ton of yards. There should be plenty of running lanes. And, you need to get the receivers going today.
Jeff Nadeau joining us, looking at the 3:30 slate, Jeff. A big one down the road in Raleigh as NC State takes on Clemson. I see that line is bumped up a little bit, so maybe some Clemson backers. It's at 10.5 right now for the Road Tigers, 47.5 total. Any read on this game going on at 3:30?
No, I don't know how you could have a read on this game. I don't know what NC State is. I feel like they're better than being 10-point dogs, but I watched them play and step up against Mississippi State, and they just couldn't. They didn't have trouble moving the football. It was really just putting the ball in the end zone, which, look, playing teams like Clemson, if you don't put the ball in the end zone, now this year you might have a few more opportunities, but it's going to come back to haunt you. I didn't have much on this game. Just seemed kind of a bore to me. I won't be watching it.
Another 3:30 kickoff. Michigan is a pretty hardy favorite over Rutgers. 20 points, 50 is the total. Is that too many for Michigan in the big house, Jeff, or do you think they roll Shiano's guys today?
I think it probably is, but I've learned over the years, betting on barometer games when you're taking a dog is, it could either go one of two ways. You could, pass the barometer test and keep it close, or you could just get run, and generally the teams get run in this spot. Rutgers is a decent team, but are they? I mean, they played, Delaware, Temple, a bunch of teams, that Syracuse, teams that just aren't very good. So now you got to go to the big house, got to face a real opponent. Michigan's defense is much better than it's been over the last year or two. I kind of lean Michigan at this number.
How about North Carolina on the road against Georgia Tech? We saw what Georgia Tech was able to do defensively to stymie Clemson. Can they do the same against Sam Howell in North Carolina? The Tar Heels, a 14-point favorite in this game with a total of 65.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Georgia Tech, North Carolina and Clemson are a little bit different offensively. North Carolina, much more dynamic. They have a much better quarterback, I think, at this point. At 14, I think the number's just a little low, though. I kind of had this one at 41-21, something like that. Georgia Tech's improved, but they've had certain games this year where I've just been completely surprised at how poor they've played. Jeff Sims has been out with an injury. Just a team that I don't really think has gotten to where Jeff Collins wants them to be. So, for me, you're picking tough games today, Clip. These are tough. I don't know about this.
Yeah, we'll get what you like in a moment. I'm just running over some games, and I got one more 3:30 that I left off, which should be a good one in Jerry World. Texas A&M taking on Arkansas. Earlier in the week, I thought this game was at Arkansas when we were talking to Igo on Tuesday, and so I took the Razorbacks plus the points. Now that I know it's not a home game for them and it's a neutral site game, I kind of lean more towards the Aggies. How about this one going on in about 20 minutes, Jeff?
Yeah, Clip, I do a show every morning on Saturdays, and I go over the entire card. And I told the audience that follows me that I thought this was the toughest card of yet.
Yeah.
I think it's a tough one. This game as well, I mean, I think Texas A&M, this is your prove-it spot for them. I kind of had them come into the season as a little overrated, a little overvalued. Didn't know if they were a top 10 team. Their offensive line is a group that has struggled a little bit in the past. They have a new quarterback. I think one thing against Texas that Arkansas was able to do is they really bothered a bad offensive line at the time for Texas. Now, Texas has obviously figured it out, but I worry a little bit about Texas A&M's offensive line. Arkansas seems to have a pretty damn good group up front. Look, the good number on this game is gone, whether it was 6, 5.5. It's now down to 4.5.
Yeah.
Bettors are probably agreeing with me that at this spot, the home dog might be worth a look.
Jeff Nadeau joining us. All right, Jeff, those are some of the, I guess, quote-unquote, bigger games. What games are you looking forward to this afternoon and tonight?
Yeah, I got a couple games in progress. Most of my card is early, but I did have a game at 5 o'clock that I like. Tulsa, Arkansas State. I played over 63.5 here. I kind of look for these like get right, kind of perfect storm type of overs. I think this is one. Tulsa actually plays about 30th in the country. They're pretty fast. They like to throw the ball around. You're looking at the worst pass defense in the country, Arkansas State. They're giving up a clip a little over 407 yards a game. They're not the worst. They're right there as one of the worst. I think they're going to have a long day against Tulsa. And look, Arkansas State throws it really more than anyone almost in the country outside of one or two teams. I think this is an up-tempo game, a lot of offense here. I like to target these games. I had one last week with SMU and Louisiana Tech. I think this is a similar game. Another game I have my eye on is the Naval Academy against Houston. I've been fading the Naval Academy really all season. Today they have a game against Houston. Now, the sentiment around Houston is no one knows if Clayton Tune's going to play. I don't know if I have a lot of interest in playing on Houston, but I'll continue to fade Navy offensively. This team has scored 7 or less points in, I think, 5 straight games. Now they play a team in Houston that I think is a little bit better than people think they are. I think they're a defense that should be able to get stops. I just think Navy's in a bad way right now on defense. Let me see if I can get it in time here. I know we're not, we don't have a ton of time here, but I like their team total under Navy. I'll just keep fading it.
Fade the midshipman. Jeff Nadeau joining us. You can check out patreon.com/BMOC. He's going over the entire card for college football, the NFL, giving you picks, and he does it here on Pirate Radio as well. Jeff, enjoy your Saturday and your NFL Sunday. I guess before we let you go, you got a favorite for Sunday to give us?
Yeah, I do. And look, I talk to you, Clip, as you know, a couple times a week. I'm going to keep kind of banging home the thought that the Baltimore Ravens and Detroit Lions, it's going to be a high-scoring game. I mean, you have two teams that I think really like to move the football. Obviously, we know the Ravens will against probably the worst defense in the league in Detroit. Jared Goff has shown he can stay in games with his arm. They like to throw the ball. They'll be in garbage time scoring points. So I played over 49.5. I like over 50.5 as well.
All right. You liked it earlier in the week. You like it today, and you'll like it tomorrow as well. Jeff, thanks for joining us, man. Check out @JeffNADU on Twitter, and he'll interact with you as well if you got a question about a game. Jeff, appreciate your time as always, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Clip. Talk to you then.
Thank you, sir. There's the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau, going over the card. Says it's not a get-right game for ECU, but a keep-it-going-right game for East Carolina. Pile up some points and hopefully get some backups in the game today, because you've created enough of a lead for yourself that you can play some guys that maybe we haven't seen so far in 2021. Let's take a timeout. Ronnie Woodward is in the green room. We'll get his thoughts on East Carolina and Charleston Southern coming up at 6 o'clock. Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, beautiful day for football. We'll break it down with Ronnie when we return on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. We're back with you after this.
Why do I run? Is it because I'm driven? Because I love the challenge? God, no. I do it for the beer. If you're the kind of runner who does it for the beer, this summer you can get one on us with the Michelob Ultra Beer Run. Grab your run buddies and get out there, because this summer there's beer at the finish line. Sign up at ultrabeerrun.com and trade your miles for beer.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico, a huge 46-ounce lime margarita for only $6.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
Hey Pirate fans, your one-stop shop for all your tailgate essentials is Shimmer Boutique. Need some purple and gold to wear? Shimmer has a great selection of clothing for men, women, and children. Need some shoes? Shimmer has the best selection of Hey Dudes around. Need a cooler for tailgating? Shimmer has you covered with a huge selection of Yeti and outdoor accessories. Shimmer, just 1 minute from the stadium on Greenville Boulevard behind Starbucks and in Winterville and Jacksonville. Find us online at shimmerboutiqueonline.com. Go Pirates!
Tommy's Express Car Wash is the car wash Greenville is talking about. At the corner of Red Banks Road and Greenville Boulevard, this state-of-the-art wash will keep your car looking great. And now Tommy's has just launched its new 2.0 Tommy's Express app. And anyone who downloads the app now will receive 30 free days of washing with their top-of-the-line wash, the Works Wash. Download the Tommy's Express app now by going to your app store or visit them on location, open 7 days a week at the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road.
I'm on site at the Gavigan Agency, and you guys have been taking care of my home and auto insurance for years, but I've been noticing that's not all you do.
First and foremost, Brian, thank you for trusting us to help you and your family with your insurance needs. And you're exactly right. We offer a full host of insurance products to help protect our customers' personal and business insurance needs. Let me introduce you to Nathan Brannon, our commercial insurance specialist, and he can tell you about some of the other products we offer.
Great to talk with you, Brian. As John mentioned, I specialize in offering general liability, commercial property, business auto, and workers' compensation insurance to independent contractors, small business owners, and larger commercial customers throughout eastern North Carolina. As a graduate of East Carolina University, I am passionate about taking care of my fellow pirates.
Wow, sounds like the Gavigan Agency can provide you just about any coverage a business owner might need. So give the Gavigan Agency a call today for any of your personal or business insurance needs and let them show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
On Saturdays, your team needs you, your sofa needs you, and you need a Jersey Mike's sub. Get it all with free Saturday delivery when you order through the Jersey Mike's app. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. This Saturday, while you watch the game at home, we're watching the grill at Jersey Mike's. Order through the Jersey Mike's app for free delivery on Saturdays, unless you're going to miss hearing this. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hey everybody, this is David Glenn, and you're listening to my favorite station in eastern North Carolina, Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Watch all of Pirate Radio's local programming on YouTube Live. You can go to YouTube, search for Pirate Radio TV, and subscribe today. Watch Pirate Radio Live Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m., and, of course, the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate and the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter on game days. Just go to YouTube, search Pirate Radio TV, and click on that subscribe button. Now let's head back in to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Barak.
All right, Notre Dame just put another touchdown on the scoreboard as we give you a Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard update. The Irish extend their lead over Wisconsin, now 24-13.
Cincinnati is hyped.
That is huge. Well, yeah, good point,
doubt.
Ronnie Woodward, because Notre Dame is going to move up in the rankings. It'll be
next week
a top 10 versus top 10 matchup when Cincinnati goes to South Bend to take on Notre Dame.
Yeah, they really need a Notre Dame win,
especially with Indiana kind of struggling this year.
Yep.
Indiana's on upset alert today, I would say, on the road at Western Kentucky. Just throwing that out there. But, yeah, that's a great result for Luke Fickell and the Bearcats. Are they off this week?
I think they are.
I believe they are.
Pretty sure they are.
Yeah. As we look around the AAC, now this would be an impressive win for SMU.
Yep.
TCU's calling timeouts right now, trying to get the ball back. SMU up 42-34 over the Horned Frogs. Temple picking up a win. They played Wagner, 41-7. Good one in the Liberty Bowl. UTSA is a good team. They went on the road. They beat Illinois. They play at Memphis. How does Memphis handle success after a win over Mississippi State last week? So that's coming up at 3:30 on ESPNU. Tulsa, Arkansas State. Big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau, likes the over in that game. You got Navy at Houston. Houston, a big favorite over the struggling midshipmen. Tulane UAB, keep an eye on that one because Tulane is ECU's next opponent, and they are narrow favorites there. First game at Yulman Stadium due to the hurricane and everything. So
good for them.
Corey Glore finally gets to call a game from his new house there in New Orleans, and BYU has been very impressive with some Pac-12 wins. They take on South Florida tonight and are huge favorites over the Bulls. That's what's going on in the AAC on our Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. Ronnie Woodward joins us inside the Pirate Radio studios here on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Ronnie, we talked to you earlier in the week, and East Carolina coming off a huge win, which was great for the coaches, great for the players, maybe even more important to win that game for the fans, because you got a lot of people excited about today and going back to Dowdy Ficklin Stadium now that the Pirates are 1-2 on the year.
Yeah, I think the timing was perfect. Heading into 2 home games, 5-game, not looking past this yet, but if 5-game mark, they're probably going to be 2-3 or 3-2, and that's, I think that's solid either way. If you're 3-2, 5 games in, that's really good.
That is huge if your aspirations are to finally get back to a bowl game and to start showing the fan base and everybody that you've put together a solid football team. If you're Mike Houston, I think that would be fantastic, especially with still Navy, Temple, South Florida on the schedule.
Yeah.
And you've already pulled one road upset this year. So
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, things start to really kind of open up for you. But got to take care of business today, Ronnie, as we've looked at Charleston Southern. The bullet points are mobile quarterback. Mike Houston has never beat them.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a lot on this team. Talking to their beat writer earlier in the week, David Nichols, he said that, or David Shelton, rather, I'm sorry. He said that the secondary has a lot of question marks, linebackers as well. Seems like this could be, and I'm sure ECU's going to try to run the football, but if they want to, this could be another big Ahlers passing day from what David Shelton said about this defense earlier in the week.
Yeah, definitely. I think the balance of ECU, but this is a game where they can get the run going. I think it's, especially early, if you establish it, kind of win in the trenches. And I think, conversely, if Charleston Southern is able to win some battles up front on the offensive and defensive lines, I think they're going to be looking to do that just to get some confidence going. I can't remember if it was Blake Harrell or somebody, it might have even not been ECU, but somebody, I'd listened to something of what does an FCS team want to do? Like, what's the big challenge of an FCS team? And it was an FCS coach that said, believing. Like, half the battle is believing that you can go win. And, like, you look at Mike Houston's James Madison team, they came in here, they ran the ball, and they believed that they were better up front and were going to win. So just that battle up front, I think if ECU can establish that early, then, it can open up the pass game. You're going to have better skill players. And if you can combine that with winning a lot up front and running the ball in chunks and getting, I think it's a Rajay Harris type game. Like last week was Mitchell, Sneed. I think this is a Rajay Harris, use your kind of bowling ball a little bit and go 3, 4, 5 yards at a time. And ECU can really open up some things there.
ECU's defense did a good job to assist the comeback last week in the fourth quarter, but they gave up a ton of yards through the air and on the ground. So, despite the win, I think you asked Blake Harrell about it.
Yeah.
Earlier.
Kind of jokingly.
Yeah.
He was cool.
He wasn't very funny when you brought up the amount of yards they gave up, but he says, the win is the most important thing. But they got something to prove today. They played great against South Carolina, didn't play great last week. So I know they're ready to get back out there and try to hold this Buccaneers offense down today.
Yeah, and I think especially the run defense. Like, honestly, I've been pretty impressed. Like, if you look at the last, as much as anybody, 6, 8, 10 years, so many people used to complain about the corners. Like, they don't turn around and look in the ball. And the corner, that was always the weakness. It's like the cornerbacks just aren't good enough. The quarterbacks are a strength to some extent. I mean, definitely with Jaquan McMillan. DJ Ford's kind of been what we thought he was. The secondary has some older veteran guys who know what they're doing. It's the run defense inconsistency. Like, where was the South Carolina run defense last week or App State? I'll tell you what, though, that Ali kid at Marshall is good. I mean, they should have beat App State. much like they should have beat ECU. I mean, they had 2 fourth-quarter field goals 2 weeks in a row. Really doomed Marshall. So I'll buy into some of that was Marshall and their skill guys, the quarterback, the running back. But, yeah, I think, again, this is a ECU being aggressive today, getting some of these young defensive linemen to get after it a little bit. You know you have an advantage in this matchup, whether it's Manny Hickman or a Brew or even the second team guys from MacGyver to all, there's 8-10 guys, even a Travion Freshwater. I mean, somebody like that could get in and make some damage potentially. So the run defense is part of it.
We went over the orthopedic ceased injury report with Jeff Charles earlier, and Shirley, can I get Mike Houston 5? He gave an update on Elijah Morris, and Jeff said Noah Henderson is the guy on the offensive line that they're going to give him some snaps, but he just can't go the full way because the back kind of flares up on him. It sounds like Elijah Morris maybe has been on kind of a pitch count too. They're putting him out there, and he's gutting through it, but he's certainly not 100%. Cut 5, Shirley. Mike Houston gave an update on Elijah Morris.
Well, I mean, he's, a lot of people would have been out for 3 or 4 weeks, and he hadn't, he's dressed every week, and he continues to recover. He's still not 100% healthy, but he played a lot of plays the other night, and which says a lot about his mental toughness. So, like I said, there's, you knew immediately when he had the injury that you knew what was going to happen. You knew he would do everything he could to be out there on the field, and he has done that. I just think it says a lot about him character-wise, toughness-wise, just dependability, all those things.
So, Ronnie, as we look at a guy like Morris, is this a situation where he's going to be out there? He might have to be helped off the field a couple times, but he's just going to keep playing?
Yeah, and again, I think this is a week. It wouldn't surprise me if MacGyver starts, and maybe you get some snaps from Morris, but maybe if you don't need to, you don't. Maybe you play a little bit of if-then, and see how it goes. I mean, Xavier MacGyver was awesome against South Carolina, and Morris didn't play at all that game. He dressed but didn't play.
Right.
So, again, you don't want to. I don't know. The score has to dictate it. You don't want to go into the game like, all right, we're going to play our backups like from the start. But if you get up a couple touchdowns, or you can put the second team defense, the line or the linebackers, you can hopefully use those units more, and maybe earlier in the game for a series. And then when you get to that third, fourth quarter, hopefully you're able to make some wholesale changes. So I am curious to see if Morris plays today and/or plays a lot, because there's a lot of young defensive linemen that they can play. Again, you don't want to get too cocky and ahead of yourself, but I think you have some wiggle room. You should to do some of that.
Ronnie Woodward joining us. Ronnie, East Carolina, a 25-point favorite in this game. What kind of score are you thinking for this game today?
I'm trying to think. Was it 42-38 last week? I could see 38 to 14, maybe 34.
That's literally my score.
Is it? Yeah, somewhere in there.
We can share a score.
Okay.
That is exactly what popped into my brain.
Yeah, I don't think they get to 40. I think it's the 30s, 35, 34, 14, 34, 10, maybe something like that.
Like, I would love to see a 50-point explosion, but we have to go off of what we've seen thus far.
Yeah.
And if ECU is clicking and going fast and putting up points like they did in the fourth quarter, sure, they can hit 50, 60 points, but I think it's going to be more of a methodical, you called it, a Rajay Harris game where...
And that means the clock's running.
Run the ball, control the clock, and you can hit some big plays in the passing game every now and then, but I see them playing more of a ball control styled offense. I am interested to see, I believe Charleston Southern likes to go pretty fast, and they have that quarterback that can run around and make plays. So I'm interested to see what they do kind of offensively and what their game plan is. Of course, if you stop them on first down, force a third and long, the opposing team's not going to go but so fast. So East Carolina can kind of dictate how fast or slow they end up going.
The scramble drill. We talked about the other day. I think the scramble drill is going to be a thing today, whether it's effective or not. I think they're gonna try that. Like, it sounds like that's a big. You said that when you talked to
their writer said that most of his rushing yards they're not designed, which is kind of worrisome.
Yeah,
because you can't plan for that really.
No, it's
other than having a spy or something like that.
Yeah, which I feel like they have to do. I want to try and watch that today too. Are they gonna have Xavier Smith, instead of being an edge, hey, go after the quarterback, maybe he can shift and make sense as a spy, or Bivens, but I think
go with that Gyra or Saba position.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that goes the first quarter or so. By the way, I hope Igo's listening to this. Have you thought about, we don't do the AAC Survivor this year?
Oh, man. Yeah, that's
can't do it now.
Sorry.
I know. It's okay.
Yeah.
When we went through the AAC scores earlier, I was like, man, that was so fun last year.
Aren't you like the 2-time champion or something?
I think we only did it one time. Like one season last year.
Okay.
Well, I don't even remember. I don't know if we did it last year because everything was crazy. I can't remember.
Nah, yeah, I dropped the ball on that one. My apologies. I'll take ECU today as part of my AAC Survivor.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, Ronnie, thanks for joining us, man. Enjoy the game. You look very dad today, I got to say, with the jeans, a tucked-in shirt.
Is that a good or bad?
You're just like a dad. You are what you are.
So we went to Sam's today.
That's a dad move.
Saturday,
dad move.
Saturday at Sam's, it was chaos. It was absolute chaos. And I enjoyed it.
Did you take the? Did you have the stroller?
Oh yeah, and there was no carts, right? So we're in the parking lot. We finally find a spot. This elder gentleman's rolling out his cart, and he looks at us and he's like, "There's no carts in there. You better find you a cart." And I'm like, "Hey, dad move, baby. The stroller underneath the stroller is like a storage space."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, "We're good." So we rolled in. Sure enough, there was no carts. We just kept going.
Well, you're good unless you're getting like 24 boxes of Kraft mac and cheese.
Yeah, no, we kept it. Like, all right, I think I got my 5-hour energy box. Fit good. Got some different things. Fit good. We were in there, handful of things, and we got in, we got out, we got in the line, grabbed a hot dog, slice of pizza, the little stand in the front. Chandler's amazed.
No, it's funny you said that, Cliff, about his wardrobe, because when he walked in, I said, "Hey, Ronnie." I said the polo tucked into the jeans. So
I'm all nervous now. Do I need to untuck it?
No,
it looks great.
Okay.
Like I said, you look like a dad.
Okay.
You're telling the world that I'm married and have a child.
Okay.
So no funny business.
Okay.
And you kids leave me alone and get off my lawn.
Don't go to Sam's.
All right. Thank you, Ronnie.
Right.
See you, bud. There's
Can I just hang around again? Isn't that my thing?
You are a big lingerer.
You're a big lingerer.
Lingerer.
All right.
Absolutely. Hang out. Watch this game. Notre Dame and Wisconsin. Irish have a lead in the
Who's on
fourth quarter.
next?
State Clemson plays at 3:30.
State Clemson, Arkansas, Texas A&M. Oh, next on the show, we'll hear Donnie Kirkpatrick,
Oh, okay.
ECU offensive coordinator. We will take a timeout, come back, or we can hear him right now. What do you think, Coach? Come on, Coach.
Let's take a break.
Okay, all right. I tell you what, Chandler's pretty good with the voices, man.
You got a good thing going.
He's rocking and rolling, baby. All right, we'll be back with you on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. We roll on after this.
While you're sleeping, our whole hogs are slow cooking over wood to create that bite that Eastern North Carolina is known for. I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have been the torchbearers for what whole hog barbecue is supposed to be. At Sam Jones, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors. Everything, and I mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh, she's doing great.
Oh yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Here is your ice-cold Pepsi Zero Sugar, sir. Oh, thanks. Wanna watch the game? Ooh, little sports ball on a Sunday afternoon. Don't mind if I do. Hey, did we win? It sounds like we won. It's still the first quarter. I must be lucky. People say that about me. Tough break on that free throw there. Shouldn't be doing that.
Dude, we're watching football. Come on. For everyone who spent the entire game explaining the entire game, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Are you starting to plan your holiday travel for this year? Book today on American Airlines at PGV and enjoy the friendly convenience of flying from your local airport. American Airlines and PGV. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
Pirate fans, get ready for a winning season and team up with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer and proud sponsor of the ECU Pirates. When you do business with us, you'll get things done right. We're proud to offer a large selection of new and used John Deere equipment, a fully stocked parts department, and a highly trained staff who is here to support you throughout the life of your equipment. So get quality done right before every ECU game day and visit qualityequip.com.
This is Coach Steve Shankweiler, offensive line coach for East Carolina University football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show. Now, with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, a few games have gone to finals. Bowling Green beats Minnesota 14-10. It was SMU surviving TCU 42-34. Number 6 Penn State beat Villanova 38-17. Texas defeats Texas Tech 70-35. Number 2 Georgia beat Vanderbilt 62-0. Games going on right now. Boise State, actually that one just went to a final as well. Boise State wins over Utah State 27-3. With about under 2 minutes to go in the game, LSU hanging on to a 28-25 lead over Mississippi State. It is Notre Dame 24, Wisconsin 13 in the fourth quarter, and Boston College scores a touchdown in overtime to beat Missouri 41-34. Games going on right now. Coastal Carolina comfortably cruising over UMass 50-0. Make that 53-0 in the fourth quarter. Miami comes out in the third quarter. They still lead Central Connecticut State 49-0 in the third quarter. And Washington State leads Utah 3-0. And Clemson and NC State are kicking off as we speak. No score as of yet. We'll have one for you at our next scoreboard. Brought to you by The Buck. The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates. The Buccaneer Music Hall is open from noon until 2 a.m. with live music every night. And now during football season, they have food trucks during the day. Follow The Buck on Facebook and Instagram for an updated schedule, and we'll see you at The Buck. Now let's head back into the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All righty, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Da Buck. Da Buck. We've got some great action going on right now. Some games just kicking off. Isn't Bowling Green like one of the worst teams in college football?
Well, they just beat
on the road
Minnesota.
Went to Minnesota.
And
well, neither one of those teams wanted to win.
What was it?
30.5.
Is that right?
I think that's what I saw.
Yeah, last night UNLV was a 30-point underdog to Fresno State, who's in the top 25. UNLV led 14-0. Fresno State ended up winning by 8. You got a 30-point underdog winning outright today on the road in Bowling Green. Look, the Pirates are going to take care of business today, folks, but just saying that just because you're a huge favorite doesn't mean you're automatically going to win your football game, and we're seeing cases of that across the country. All right, let's get a look at the UB stat sheet at what's been going on so far with East Carolina offensively, and the Pirates have were able to put up some numbers in the fourth quarter last week and make those offensive numbers look better than they would have been without that comeback, obviously. And East Carolina scored 42 points last week, an outburst if you consider the first 2 weeks of the season. East Carolina putting up just 19 against Appalachian State. And then the performance against South Carolina, where they only scored 17 points and got most of their offense on one trick play early in the game. But with last week's performance, they are now scoring 26 points per contest, averaging 122 on the ground, 280 through the air, for a total of 403 yards per game. On third downs this year, East Carolina just 16 of 49. That's only 33% on third down. The Pirates have been good on fourth down, 5 of 7 on the year for ECU on third down situations. The Pirates are perfect in the red zone. They are 8 for 8 and have scored in 5 of their 8 trips in the red zone touchdowns. So 5 touchdowns in 8 red zone attempts. That's a pretty good number as well for East Carolina on offense. Let's hear more about the offense. Jeff Charles went one-on-one with Donnie Kirkpatrick. Let's hear that conversation.
With ECU offensive coordinator Donnie Kirkpatrick. And, Coach, let's talk about this Charleston Southern defense that you'll play against. What kind of a defense do they run?
You know, this is old school defense here now. They're in a lot of 8-man front, a lot of 3 deep, really stack the box, really try to stop you from being able to run the ball. And then they really keep the ball corralled and keep the ball in front of them. So they play hard. They don't have a lot of depth, but the guys that are out there playing hard, they give it everything they got.
Holton Ahlers had such a great game last week for you, Coach. It was so good to see. I mean, he ran the ball, he caught the ball, he threw touchdown passes, he received a touchdown pass, of course. He really did it all, and it was just so good to see Holton have such a great game.
Yeah, I think everybody, had a smile on their face, because we won the game. But I think everybody was really pleased. I can tell his teammates were, the entire coaching staff. I think the majority of the fan base, are pulling so hard for him. They know the commitment he's made. They know how involved he is in this program. They know he was coming off a subpar performance. Nobody was harder on him than he was himself. And I could tell he was focused that week. He was very quiet, but he was very determined. Look, he always bounces back. He's a great competitor. He had another huge game.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Coach, when you have a home run hitter that can take it to the house on almost any carry, that's really something special to have. And you have that right now in Keaton Mitchell, don't you?
Yeah, the only other guy I've ever been around would be Chris Johnson, who, his senior year gave us that kind of explosiveness type stuff out of the backfield. So Keaton, off to a great start. I hope we can get him in that situation a little bit more.
And then, Coach, how about Shane Calhoun? He came out of nowhere almost because, of course, he hadn't caught a ball going into the game last week, and big part of the offense had a terrific game.
Shane really did. Shane, we believe in Shane. Holton was promoting him like he was his agent, in the preseason, saying he thought he was the best tight end in the league. He did catch a touchdown in the first game. It got called back because of a penalty. Sometimes you're just on that unlucky streak. But he got in, and especially second half, we had a great matchup. They had a smaller safety covering him, playing him in some man coverage, and he made a couple good plays. You know how that is. Quarterback starts to look for the guys that are hot a little bit. All of a sudden, that guy looks a little more open to him. He throws it with a little more confidence, throws it a little bit earlier, and you start getting some chemistry there. So that was really great to get him involved in the offense.
You have a lot of guys in the tight end room, even though they're not making a whole lot of catches, Coach. They are getting on the field and making contributions, aren't they?
We're playing all 4 of our tight ends, and we're getting a lot out of those guys, the Aaron Jarman, the Zach Birds, maybe not in the stat sheet, but all those blocks, that's important. The tight end position is the most complex position really on the offensive team right now because they play as an offensive lineman, they play as a wide receiver, and they really play in the backfield like a running back. So there's a lot to do. We're using them in different sets. We're using them to what they do best, and we're trying to cause some problems for the defense.
Who played well in the offensive line last week?
Up front, we had a difficult matchup, I think, with these guys. more than really the South Carolina group, which we were so worried about because of their quickness and some of the stunts and the things they did. Justin Chase probably stands out in my mind. You know, he's playing the left tackle. He's out there on the island. He's been the most consistent lineman probably to date right now. The other guy we're really, really pleased with Rob Vanderland, who has come on, splitting time with Noah because we're trying not to play Noah too much.
Has Justin Chase surprised you at all, Coach, as well as he's played?
You know, Justin Chase was a young man that when I was here with Ruff and McNeil, we tried to recruit, and he made a bad decision and didn't come here and went to a different school. I think it may have had something to do with the releasing of the coaching staff and the changeover at that time. And he went, and I don't know, it didn't work for one reason or the other. There's all those type of stories out there. We knew he had talent, so when he was in the transfer portal, we were excited to get him because Shankweiler had been there at North Carolina State, had seen him, even though he wasn't doing very well or getting on the field, knew he had some talent. So we're not surprised that he's got the talent. We're just really super excited that he's now put it together. I think the COVID year, which has not been very good for hardly anybody, but except for guys getting an extra year, it's really helped him to come back and now get the chance to play his second year.
Well, you mentioned Rob Vanderland playing at the right tackle position. East Carolina, down through the years, has not had a whole lot of players from California, so there must be a recruiting story there, Coach. Tell us about that.
You know, it really is just this transfer portal where the situation was we were looking for guys. We saw him. Then we did learn that his father, who's a professor out at Cal Berkeley, had gone to North Carolina State. And so he knew the area, knew what it was like, liked Eastern North Carolina, had talked about his experience in Raleigh to his son, and so they were kind of excited about coming out and just checking it out and seeing what the opportunity was. Rob ended up coming, visiting, really thought this would be a good place for him. He's mentioned many times how nice everybody was here. When I said, how are you doing? Are you meeting everybody? He's like, Coach, everybody here is just so nice and so willing to help you out. I love this area. So he's fit in really well.
So, Coach, final question for you. What will your offense have to do to move the ball against this Charleston Southern defense and score some points this week?
Well, I think we got to play hard again, you know, which I think we have been doing for the most part. The other thing is we just got to stay within the game plan. When you play games like this, everybody wants to go out and score, 100 points right away in the first quarter. That's impossible. We're playing a really good team. It's going to play hard. Scores come in waves, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you hit them, just like the other night, you get 17 points in 7 minutes. That's the way all sports are, to be honest with you. Baseball is that way, basketball like, football is like that too. So you just got to keep plugging along, keep playing hard, and not make those mistakes that we made the first couple of games.
That's ECU offensive coordinator Donnie Kirkpatrick.
The Voice with Donnie Kirkpatrick there on the Bud Light pregame tailgate as they talk about some of the personnel for East Carolina that stepped up last week and also took a look at the Charleston Southern defense. Let's take a timeout as we go to break. Chandler, we were talking a moment ago, Bowling Green going to Minnesota and winning. The Gophers, according to ESPN Stats and Info, were favored by 30.5 points.
Wow.
That ties the largest upset between two FBS programs since Texas State defeated Houston in 2012. Houston was 35-point favorites on that day against Texas State and lost outright. So a big upset there. There's been some blowouts today, but one upset on this Saturday.
I think the money line was plus 2,800.
That's a pretty penny if you could have got in on that one. The Notre Dame money line is going to hit, in case you had that one, folks. Pick six. Notre Dame has 24 points in the fourth quarter. They lead Wisconsin 34-13 with 2:13 left. More scores on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard coming up later on. And Billy Weaver joins us to wrap up hour number 2. When we return, we're back with you after this.
Other food delivery apps charge surprise fees, but Domino's is giving away $50 million worth of surprise frees, like free pizza, lava cakes, or cheesy bread when you order delivery online. And we found some unique ways to get the word out.
Like shouting from the rooftop! Free cheesy!
Screaming it! We even called Paul Revere.
Free lava cakes are coming!
Order delivery online and you could get a surprise free from Domino's. No purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents 13 and up through 11/21/21. Odds of winning are 1 in 14. See rules at surprisefrees.domino's.com for free entry, blackout dates, restrictions, and details.
Hey Pirate Nation, be sure you have the best comfortable shoes this tailgate season with a stop at Fleet Feet. This is ECU alum Chris Lunyon, owner of Fleet Feet of Greenville, and we provide solutions through one-on-one service to runners, walkers, and everyone in between. Fleet Feet has the tools and technology to get you on the right shoe, including a 3D foot scanner that measures arch height, width, and more. Come visit us on Greenville Boulevard in the public shopping center right near the stadium. Be sure to run with us on Facebook and Instagram. Fleet Feet, we run for you. Go Pirates!
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an auto owner's independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with auto owner's insurance.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
At West Park Motor Company, customer satisfaction is the #1 goal while offering a wide range of cars, trucks, and SUVs at very competitive prices. Shop online at westparkmotorcompany.com right now to get started. Looking to sell your vehicle? Call West Park for a free appraisal. West Park is willing to pay more for your car or truck than the next dealer. West Park Motor Company, with locations in Greenville and Washington, and proud courtesy car dealer for the Pirates for over a decade. Go Pirates! At Union Bank, we understand you live life on the go. That's why our banking options are designed to serve you, wherever you are. If you want to meet us in person at one of our local branches, complete banking tasks on the go from the mobile app, or bank from your office with convenient remote deposit and cash management services, we're everywhere you need us to be. Whether you're simply managing a busy schedule or an entire business, we're right there with you with personalized service and helpful tools. Call or visit us online at unionbanknc.com. Union Bank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
It's bow time. It's the same song, different tune. The family debates dinner, but all you're craving is a double serving of aspirin. So drop a big bow box on that pack of picky eaters. Cause when you can get 8 pieces of chicken with 4 made-from-scratch biscuits, 2 fixins, and tea, dinner's easier than hitting mute on the group chat. Bojangles, it's bow time.
This is Coach Donnie Kirkpatrick, offense coordinator for ECU football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, for the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at PR927FM. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at FreePR927FM. Join the close to 50,000 followers today. And a quick Buck scoreboard update. Justin Ross gets a 32-yard reception, and Clemson has jumped out to a 7-0 lead over NC State. Clip.
All right. Thank you for that Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard update, Buck. This is not a repeat. This happened during the break. Another Notre Dame pick six. They're up 41-13. Like, this was a close game.
Yeah, that got out of hand quick.
Graham Mertz, the quarterback for Wisconsin, 4 interceptions. He's thrown 2 pick sixes in like 2 minutes, and that is 31 fourth quarter points. Again, this is huge for Cincinnati because voters are going to see this and bump Notre Dame way up, and Cincinnati-Notre Dame is going to be a top 10 matchup coming up next week.
That escalated quickly.
Very quickly, because, again, that was a pretty close game about 15 minutes real time ago. All right, let's head out to the Fixed NC Live line. Once they wrap it up at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium tonight, we'll be with you on the U.S. Sailor 5th Quarter Call-In Show. And my co-host is Billy Weaver, who joins us today on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Weave, happy game day. How you doing, man?
Hey, man, happy game day to you. Doing great. It's what an awesome game day weather forecast we got, man. It's beautiful out here.
Perfect day for football in Greenville, North Carolina. We had a fun one last Saturday on the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show. Fans very excited. We were very excited after the come-from-behind victory over Marshall. And, Weave, I'm looking forward to another fun one today. If the Pirates can go out there, take care of business, and do what they're supposed to do on the field, which is beat Charleston Southern pretty good coming up tonight at Dowdy Ficklin.
Well, like you just said, beat them pretty good. You can't squeak one out. Obviously, you can't lose this game. That goes without saying. But you can't squeak one out in this one either. You gotta win convincingly over a team that you're, a heavy favorite over at home. It's one of those. I don't know if you call it a swing game. I don't even know what kind of label you would put on this game. I'm not going to say it's a must-win, or I really don't know the label that you can put on this, because you just have to win this game to go 2-2. Because you guys have been saying it. We've been saying it all week. Going 2-2 in the month of September is kind of right exactly where East Carolina should be, where we kind of wanted to be. Obviously everybody wants to be 4-0. That's, that goes without saying as well too. But realistically, I think if you told ECU fans before the season, hey, you'll be 2-2 in September and, kind of be on track to, have a Tulane team on tap, that, you're probably going to be a favorite in that game. And then the rest of the season takes care of itself.
I was with you until that last point. ECU will be an underdog probably against Tulane.
I'm sorry, yes.
We'll see.
Underdog in that one. My bad.
We'll see.
I did.
It is funny you brought that up because Jeff Nadeau earlier in the hour he's like, this is a get-right game. Well, it's not a get-right game. It's a stay-right game for ECU. We're trying to label it, and nobody can do it right now, what kind of game this is. But it's one you got to win, and one you hope you can win convincingly, Weave, and get some backups in. Give these offensive linemen a breather, get the D-line, get some new young bodies in there, get a Pop McKay or a new running back in, and, of course, maybe we get to see Mason Garcia or another quarterback if East Carolina can extend a lead today.
My goodness, can we please see Mason Garcia so everybody will stop already? At least so we know what we've got, because obviously all that talk stopped last week. With the game that Holton Ahlers played, and with all the talk the prior weeks before that, what's going on with Mason Garcia, why are we not seeing him? This would be the perfect time to do that. Going into the fourth quarter, maybe if you got a very comfortable lead. You got a 3-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter. Why would you keep your starting quarterback in, and why wouldn't you? Mason Garcia is listed as the number 2 quarterback on the depth chart. So, of course, if you're going to take your starter out with a huge, comfortable lead in the fourth quarter, which is what we're hoping, we don't know. But if you're going to do that, obviously you go with Mason Garcia. So then, people can kind of see what's going on and see that it's, that it's not the end of the world, so to speak. So I hope that's the case. I hope a lot of other guys get to see playing time. Now, the defensive line, they've been rotating a lot of guys in the defensive line. So I don't know how much more depth they've got in defensive line of guys that would need to get some playing time. So that's the good part of that situation right there. But, yeah, I think it would be nice to see some fresh faces and maybe some guys on the field that fans are like, okay, I got to get out my roster sheet. Who is this guy?
That would be nice if we have to learn some new numbers and names today, Billy. That would be a good thing.
That would be a good thing.
Ronnie Woodward was here earlier in the hour. He said this is a Rajay Harris game where you're going to run the ball, control the clock, and just kind of out-muscle Charleston Southern. How about you? You got a star of today's game beforehand? Who do you like?
Wow. You know what? It's so hard to pick a star of the game because there's so many guys like last game that stood out. With Calhoun, Snead, of course, Holton Ahlers with everything that he did between catching passes, throwing passes, running for touchdowns, doing all that stuff. But I kind of agree. Rajay is going to be one of those guys. Keaton Mitchell, wow, it's so hard to pick one of those guys, and especially in this type of game. But I do agree 100%. You got to establish the run game, kind of establish, hey, we're going to physically we're going to beat you physically on the football field, and what you do is you go out there and you run the football right down their throat. So I have to agree, Rajay is going to be very key in this game. Well, the whole running game is going to be for sure.
We will talk to you after the game on the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show. You'll be joining us and taking folks' calls and enjoying some tiebreakers. So we'll see you after the game, Weave, and hopefully we have another fun one coming up tonight.
All right, and look, I'm hoping that I can leave Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium when the fourth quarter begins, so that I have plenty of time to get over to the radio station and nothing crazy is going to happen, and we can kind of put the foot on the neck, so to speak, on my ride over to Pirate Radio, and we're talking about 25, 30-point victory. That would be nice.
I'll sign up for that. I'll co-sign with you on that one, Weave. We'll see you after the game, man.
All right, man.
Billy Weaver joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. We'll take your calls tonight, 317-1250. You can, of course, listen to us at your post-game tailgate out by your car on 92.7, 104.1, 1250, 930. You can dial us up online at pr927fm.com or watch the show on Facebook Live or YouTube. A lot of different ways to watch and listen to the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show, and it's all about you, the fan, and your calls. So call us at 317-1250. We'll be here coming up tonight after the game. 2 hours down, 2 to go. Stephen Igo, Hoist the Colors, is set to join us when we return for hour 3 of the Bud Light pregame tailgate. We'll also have our first tailgate check-in of the day as we'll go out live to the Pirate Radio tailgate zone. Just saw a picture on our Pirate Radio Twitter page of Jeff Charles flexing the guns out at the tailgate zone. So we'll see what other stars and celebs are around the Pirate Radio tailgate zone when we return. Hour 3 of the Bud Light pregame tailgate. We'll kick it off after this.
Come and explore great shopping in downtown Washington at Naughty Life. Hi, this is Gina from Naughty Life, and new fall merchandise is arriving every day, featuring all the new Yeti products, like the loadout buckets and waterproof dry duffel bags. We have new fall clothes for men, women, and children. At Naughty Life, we have something perfect for any occasion, like new jewelry and a great selection of sunglasses from Costa, Reflect, and RCI. Visit Naughty Life on Main Street in historic downtown Washington, and like us on Instagram and Facebook.
Do you suffer from pain, anxiety, or sleeping issues? Eastern Healthcare has a solution for you. Eastern Healthcare is the premier CBD store with retailer quality products to help with any ailment you might have. They carry nationally recognized brands such as Curative's Delta 8, CBD Distillery, and Charlotte's Web with a wide variety of delivery systems.
This is Adam from Eastern Healthcare. Come visit our store at 2245 Stantonburg Road across from Vidant Hospital or call 227-4199. Eastern Healthcare. Wellness starts here.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Kyle Gaines from Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Not only will you feature a great selection of pre-owned inventory for sale, but we'll also buy your vehicle even if you don't buy one from us. Drive a little, save a lot. Give us a call and make a short trip to Washington and let us buy your vehicle today. It is totally worth it. We also service all makes and models at our state-of-the-art service department. Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram between Greenville and Washington, and WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. Remember, drive a little, save a lot. Go Pirates.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Your power's out. There's a water leak. What do? For these and other utility-related emergencies, you need service, and you want it fast. There are 2 things you can do to get the quickest response if you're a GUC customer. First, you can call the hotline at 1-855-767-2482 and report any utility-related emergency. That number is also on GUC.com. Or second, you can give GUC your phone number. The hotline process is quickest when their account records have your current phone number. Service you can count on. Greenville Utilities.
Hey, Troy D here for my friends at Villa Verde. If you know me, you know I love being outside, but finding a good place to eat outside can sometimes be tough. Well, our pals at Villa Verde have fixed that. Not only does Villa Verde have awesome, unique, one-of-a-kind dishes here in Greenville, they also have a brand new outside dining area. And this outside area is sweet. It's covered, you're in the shade, and cooling fans are on. Enjoy the comfort and relaxation of dining outside with our friends at Villa Verde. Villa Verde on 10th Street, a platform for good.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show. Now, with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, we've got several games that already have scores on the board from the 3:30 kickoff games. Clemson has an early 7-0 lead over NC State. Iowa State and Baylor are tied at 7 apiece. Louisville has already jumped out to a 10-0 lead on Florida State. Arkansas has an early 3-0 lead over Texas A&M. And Memphis has jumped out to a 14-0 start over UTSA in the first quarter. And that is a look at your Buck scoreboard, brought to you by Buccaneer Music Hall. It's your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in eastern North Carolina. They're open from noon until 2 a.m. with live music every night. And during football season, they have food trucks during the day. Follow the Buck on Facebook and Instagram for an updated schedule, and we'll see you at the Buck. Now let's head back in to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All righty, back with you, hour 3 of the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate as we roll on. Thanks to Community Calzone for the great food and calzones that we got earlier today. They are on Greenville Boulevard across from Parker's and have great calzones, wings, salads, and I had a cookie. It was the size of my face, and I ate the whole thing. And Chandler, I'm going to agree with you, 11 out of 10. On the,
I'm going to bump mine up to 15 out of 10.
It was awesome. It was really
a
good.
big cookie, by the way.
It was big. It was good. It was great.
And by the way, the
Buck, of course. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Stephen Igo's here. Happy game day, Igo. How you doing, man?
Doing good. Happy game day.
Good to see you, and we'll talk to you in just a moment. But first, our first check-in at the Pirate Radio Tailgate Zone. Looks like it's been a party out there today. Some beautiful weather, some great food. Looks like the chef, Brandon Manning, had it going out there. Troy D., what's going on out there at the Pirate Radio Tailgate Zone?
Cliff, great timing. 77 degrees currently and barely a cloud in the sky. It is absolutely ideal tailgating weather right now. And what a great scene, man. This has been packed out here. Tailgate lots opened up at 12 noon. And I got to tell you, I saw with some folks before, maybe you guys know, I can't remember the last time we have had a full 6-hour tailgate. You know, this is a extended tailgate because of the night game, and I was struggling to remember. Maybe you guys could fact check that. When the last time we've had a night game that was in this good of conditions too, with this much great weather and sunshine. So it has been an absolute fantastic tailgate. Brandon Manning has just cracked open the pig cooker, and today we have it loaded with chicken. We have quarters of chicken, and it looks fantastic. We got about 50 pieces of chicken on the grill. It's getting ready to come off, and he does a great job for us cooking from Farm Bureau. And we got all the sides. It is going to be absolutely fantastic. Of course, plenty of ice-cold beverages, thanks to our friends at Minji's Bottling Group, Pepsi Products, Mountain Dew, and so much more. And, of course, Carolina Eagle Distributing, our title sponsor with Bud Light. And everybody's, man, we're having a great time out here. I'm telling you, the crowd is really big out here for the tailgate lots. As far as we can see, we're out at Elmhurst. We got a good view. We're probably about 3 different directions as far as all the way down Berkeley, all the way down Fieldside, all behind Town Bank Tower. And it is packed out here, guys. So I think hopefully this will bode well for the crowd inside Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium tonight. I'm hearing going to be close to 40. They'll probably call it at least 40. Now, how many actual butts in the seats, we'll have to see. But I'm hearing it will be more than last week. So with family weekend, there are a ton of folks in town, and everybody's enjoying themselves, having a great time. So should be a great atmosphere. It would be nice to see East Carolina, roll up on somebody and be firmly in control by halftime so people can kind of relax a little bit and take this momentum into next weekend for homecoming weekend. Back-to-back weekends here, 3:30 kickoff next Saturday, Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. But the tailgate zone is bumping, guys. We're having a great time. and appreciate what you guys are doing as we got the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate blaring on the speakers, too.
Troy, we'll check in with you about an hour from now, get one final check-in, but sounds like it's a blast out there, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Troy D out of the Pirate Radio Tailgate Zone. Clip Rock here inside the Pirate Radio studios on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Steven Igo is here. Igo, we have a little business to take care of. We make our picks on Tuesday early in the week. First of all, and I contacted you earlier today and let you know that I made a mistake. I thought this Arkansas-Texas A&M game was in Fayetteville, and I had Arkansas against Texas earlier in the year, and that's one of the best environments I've seen this year. I know the whiteout at Penn State and Florida last week against Alabama, but that Arkansas crowd for that Texas game was awesome, and I thought Arkansas could ride that one more time. Well, this game's in Jerry World, so neutral site, so I switched my pick to Texas A&M, which right now doesn't look like a good thing. Arkansas is winning 3-0. But anyway, that is official, correct?
Yeah, I'm taking that.
Okay, good.
And I picked A&M, right? Or did I pick Arkansas?
I don't know. I don't have it in front of me.
I'm pretty sure I picked A&M.
But I gave you the opportunity, obviously, too, if you wanted to change your pick.
I'll do A&M.
You're A&M. All right.
I mean, even though they're losing right now.
3-0 the score early in that one on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. Also, when we talked on Tuesday, we did not have a line for East Carolina and Charleston Southern. I said 28. Did you say 25? What did you say the line was going to be?
I think I may have said 30.
Oh, you went higher than me. Okay.
Yeah, my memory stinks, so I don't know.
So now that we know it's 25, we do need to make an official pick for our record, so we'll go ahead and do that now. Where are you going for the ECU game?
I'm picking ECU to cover. I think I have my prediction at either 42-17 or 45-17. So I'm going with the Pirates to cover. Even though if they won 42-17, I guess that would be a push. But I think they cover.
I am going with Charleston Southern, and only because I came out with my score, 38-14. That's 24. So I think it's going to be right around the number. I would love to see East Carolina put up 48, 55, 63, whatever. But I don't know if they're going to play that style of game, Steven. I think if I had to guess, I would say it's more of a run the ball control, just bully Charleston Southern and win that way.
I mean, really, I know the fans want to see style points and all that, big victory, but like, what good does it really do to go out there and throw your whole playbook against Charleston Southern other than maybe build some confidence for the offense? I mean, I think...
And has ECU given you enough evidence that you think they would be able to do that anyway? I mean, they have sputtered offensively for most of this season outside of a big play here and there and in the fourth quarter last week.
Yeah, I just feel like, based on what Donnie Kirkpatrick said earlier to Jeff Charles, if Charleston Southern's really going to put 7 or 8 in the box and they're going to continue to play that way, I think it'll just be an absolute field day for the passing game. I think even though the passing game has struggled at times, I don't see anybody on Charleston Southern's roster that can guard Tyler Snead, C.J. Johnson, Shane Calhoun, all those guys one-on-one. So if they truly come out that way, I think it could be a massive day for the passing game. So it'll be interesting to see if they kind of stick to that philosophy or they change it up because they're facing ECU.
I go East Carolina, a big favorite in this one. And how about defensively for the Pirates? Charleston Southern has a mobile quarterback, but I made this point last hour. Pirates win last week. Everything's great, but the defense gave up a ton of yards. I think they come out with something to prove today. They were really good last time they were home. Had a good performance against South Carolina.
Natural grass, man.
Is that the difference here? You think
they just look so much better on natural grass than on turf to me defensively, and I think they'd play better in front of the home crowd. Clearly, I think that gives them some juice. And I heard yesterday they were looking at mid-30s as far as attendance, potentially upper 30s if a big student turnout. And based on Troy's report, sounds like they'll be closer to 40.
Talking about butts and seats?
Tickets sold.
Okay.
I mean, actual butts and seats, I just don't.
Yeah, okay.
It's not a thing anymore. So, yeah, I mean, I just think it'll be a good crowd either way. I mean, based on what we were expecting after the 0-2 start, I think it's much better than what we were anticipating then. So I think it'll be a good crowd. They'll play off that. And honestly, Charleston Southern offensively, the quarterback's good, but outside of that, you're not scared.
Man, just a perfect storm for East Carolina. Coming back, winning that game. Awesome weather today. Great kickoff time against an opponent you should be able to beat and get to 2-2 on the year. It really worked out nicely. That win was crucial last week to keep the fan base energized because now, Stephen, we've talked about it. If you go to 2-2 in September, you open up conference play with Tulane. That is a huge game next Saturday that people are going to be excited about. And now the ECU has to do their part today and take care of business, of course.
Isn't it funny just the absolute thin line between winning and losing? You know, if that ball, for whatever reason, McMillan doesn't make the pick or the guy makes a better throw, how miserable is everybody right now? But because that play was made, the entire narrative is changed just because of one play. And that's what we love about sports. That's what we hate about sports, but it really is crazy. But it's just important to me that ECU made that play to finish the game. When I know every Pirate fan out there was hopeful, but who in the back of their mind really thought they were going to make the play to win the game?
We're watching it in here just thinking the absolute worst, which is why...
and after the last 6 years, why would you not?
When Rajay Harris scored that touchdown, I immediately thought, oh, God, this is a huge extra point. If he misses this, they can kick a field goal. We go to over. Like, I was already being negative guy. Daffer hits the extra point. McMillan gets the pick. Pirates win. But, yeah, it's easy to think the worst in a situation like that. But, man, kudos to East Carolina for getting it done. Let's get a break in. We'll come back. We got a recruiting question for you. Some official visits today. We'll talk about that and more when we roll on Hour 3 of the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. We're back with you. More IGO after this.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Watch our prices fall at Bostic Sugg Furniture. All the gotta-get-it-now looks and styles are in. We have what you need to add warmth and beauty to any room. Sofas, sectionals, and motion furniture from the best brands. Lazy Boy, Bassett & Rowe, all in stock with huge in-stock savings. And the more you buy, the more you save. Up to $720 back, plus great savings on Serta and Restonic mattresses. So watch our prices fall at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Bram Anderson from Tiebreakers, and we are excited to announce that we will be opening our second location in Winterville soon. Right now, our growing company is hiring team members for all positions for both locations. We need managers, bartenders, servers, cooks, and dishwashers. If you're looking for an opportunity to be on a fun and exciting restaurant team, then come see us today. Apply in person at Tiebreakers at Bells Fork. Check us out at tiebreakersnc.com.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville.
Sawyer's Fun Park is now open in Greenville. This state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot facility features a 2-story LED interactive laser tag, a one-of-a-kind 2-story ninja course, a ropes course with a 180-degree zip line, and it's only one of 5 in the country that are indoors. Multiple climbing walls, a super cool arcade with 40-plus games, and a brand-new full-service cafe and bar for adults. Visit the brand-new Sawyer's Fun Park, now open, located right behind ARU on Corey Road, Greenville.
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
Pirate Radio.
You know, I think this is a pretty blue-collar, tough, hard-nosed fan base, and that's the way our teams are going to be.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? You can listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or Spotify. Subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device and search for Pirate Radio Audio Archives. And as we head back into the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, a quick Buck scoreboard update for you, Clip. Memphis has tacked on another touchdown. They lead UTSA 21-0, and NC State has tied up the ball game with Clemson. It is now 7 apiece, and the first quarter just ended.
Thank you, Shirley Rhodes, the Buck. We got a big play in Jerry World, Arkansas.
I want me some glory hole.
Scores a touchdown. Thank you, Jerry. 85-yard pass and catch.
Isn't Jerry Jones an Arkansas guy?
Yes, he played there, I want to say.
So when you said the games in Jerry World, I thought you were even going to be more on Arkansas side because Jerry
probably some glory hole.
Jerry probably rigged it some way.
That was a huge play there, and I would like to change my pick again, Steven, because Arkansas, can I rechange?
No.
Arkansas leading 9-0 PAT pending in the first quarter against Texas A&M. Texas A&M looks bad.
Why is A&M ranked so high? Didn't they almost lose on the road at Colorado?
Yeah.
Who then lost to Minnesota?
Who then lost to Bowling Green? Bowling Green won today outright as a 30.5-point underdog. So, not trying to make you Pirate fans worried or anything, but
so
upsets happen.
Keep saying, like, we got to win this game convincingly. Like, yeah, it'd be nice, but let's just win the game. I mean,
I'm with you. If I had a choice, I would take a blowout.
I mean, everybody would, but let's just if ECU wins 38-21, are people going to complain? Yes.
Well, of course.
But I mean, Virginia Tech just beat Richmond 21-10.
I know it happens.
I mean, it's not like every FBS game is 50-7. ECU's not playing Wagner like Temple.
Wagner.
Over
under quarterbacks for East Carolina playing in this game. I'll set it at 1.5. This does not count a Tyler Snead gadget play. This is a traditional quarterback. 1.5. Over under.
Over.
Okay. Over under 2.5.
Under.
All right. Who will that second quarterback in the game be?
Mason Garcia.
When will he enter the game?
Fourth quarter.
How much time will be on the clock?
Mid-fourth quarter.
7.5 minutes exactly?
Sure.
Over, under Mason Garcia passes.
Will Mason Garcia have more pass attempts than Tyler Snead on the season by the end of the game?
Okay, that's a great question because I was going to set it at 3.5.
And Tyler Snead has 3 pass attempts already.
All right, so there's the number. Are you going over, under?
Over.
Because
you got to put him in and let him run the offense.
Right.
Not
I
just
agree.
hand the ball off.
Totally agree. If he's going to play, let's. And I think opposing coaches in 2021 are okay with that, right?
Yeah.
Like if Holton Ahlers is throwing up by 40,
it's a different deal.
With 5 minutes left, then that's one thing. If your backups are in there and Garcia's throwing to Hudson or Savage or somebody like that, then that should be okay.
Listen, ECU, we've had plenty of experience watching teams run their offense with their backups over the past 6 years, so I think it's okay if ECU does it one game.
Now, again, we just hope to be in that position.
Yeah,
we may
we'll
not
see.
be. Charleston Southern has not really had a tight game in the second half yet. They beat the Citadel pretty good, and they were beaten by Monmouth pretty good. So, kind of like Marshall, they have not been in a close one yet. And hopefully today's the same way.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is they beat the Citadel handily, but the Citadel runs the triple option, and ECU has much more talent than the Citadel. So it's, the better comparison for a game is the Monmouth game, and they really struggle with Monmouth, which is a quality FCS program, not just a baseball team that randomly beats ECU every few years. So I think it is, if they can get off to a good start, and I know it's cliche to say, but you don't want to give Charleston Southern confidence. You know, they're going to have a scripted series or two. They might have a trick play up their sleeve early. You don't want them to get a cheap score early, build some confidence. Hopefully you come out of the gates kind of on fire and kind of bury them right away. But that's easier said than done for sure.
A question from our basketball guy, Johnny, who had a great stat to consider earlier, or a fact. Jeff Charles said something about Cody Klein for Charleston Southern, and Johnny said Cody was a heck of a basketball player at Cox Mill High School. So he already gave us one basketball tidbit today. But Johnny asking, any official visits today, football or basketball?
I know football does not have any official visits, at least last I checked. Late in the week, they had a couple of commits coming back on unofficials. Most of the class has already taken their official visits, so might be a few more later in the year. Basketball, I have not heard of any officials, but have not confirmed one way or the other. I would have think that if they're going to have an official, they would do it for a bigger home game, but it turns out this is a pretty good crowd. So, but I have not heard, though Joe Dooley likes to bring basketball recruits to football games for good reason.
So next week is homecoming and a big game. Is that a big recruiting weekend?
Yeah, and it's a good kickoff time, too. 3:30 is a good kickoff time for recruits. You know, they had the 12 noon game for South Carolina, which hurt some recruiting visits. I mean, they still had a very big day. But it's hard to get guys who play high school games late in a Friday night turn around, especially if they're from out of state, to travel to a noon game, because the recruits, to really get a true recruiting experience, have to get to the stadium at around 10 or so, if not earlier, to kind of meet with the coaches. Because once it's 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11, then the coaches are in game mode. They're out in the field. So 3:30, much more advantageous for that.
All right, good stuff. You hearing anything about basketball, Stephen? I don't think we brought it up at all this week during your segment on Pirate Radio Live, but we're getting closer to a tip-off of the 2021 season.
Yeah, it's really not that far away. It does kind of sneak up on us at times. You know, I'm hoping to get out there maybe Monday to watch a workout. Been kind of tied up with the little one at home, especially when not covering football. But I've talked to some sources and I've heard some good things, and you know, I've heard good things the past few preseasons, so I'm going to wait to see how it plays out on the court, because it hasn't played out too well, although they started well last year. But Vance Jackson's the name I've heard, the Arkansas transfer that really has looked dynamic in practice. A couple of the young freshmen have really shot the ball well. Alexis Reyes, Tay Mosher. We know Winston Tabbs, the Boston College transfer, can shoot it. So for the first time in a while, I actually feel pretty good about the scoring, and now I'm kind of worried about the defense. Like, I feel like they're going to be able to shoot the ball. How well will they be able to defend? I think you've got 4 to 5 good shooters and with a track record, and you got some freshmen that can shoot the ball. So I think we're going to see a much different basketball team this year. You know, they're not going to play through Jaden Gardner anymore. I think you're going to see a lot more perimeter work and actually perimeter shots that go in.
That would be great. We got a lot of shooters. We need some makers on the Pirate basketball team. They saw this week that East Carolina will be playing Liberty in Charlotte at the Spectrum Center coming up this season. Liberty, the
schedule should come out any day, the full schedule. I mean, the non-conference
I would hope so. It's like next month or two where they're going to start playing. So
November something.
Yeah.
First, second week in November.
Let's get that schedule out.
But yeah, that's on the American.
We will take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll have one more segment with Stephen Igo from Hoist the Colors. Got to be honest, I'm kind of tired of breaking down ECU Charleston Southern at this point.
Once it gets to game day these days, I'm tired of breaking down every game. I'm just ready for them to go play.
I know. Ready for the action on the field. Coming up at 6 o'clock, East Carolina and Charleston Southern. We'll be back. More Stephen Igo, hour number 3 of the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Back with you after this.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar. Join us at the Rick House for mouth-watering steaks and made-from-scratch pastas. Check out the 16-ounce cowboy steak and our seafood delight pasta. The Rick House is open for lunch daily from 11 to 2, Monday through Friday. Take a break from your workday with lunch at the Rick House. Join us for our legendary brunch on Sundays from 10 to 2. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates in ENC. Open 7 days a week. Plus, the Buck has live music every night, along with football. The Buck has a brand new 15-foot 4K screen, the only one in Greenville, and over 18 big screens with all your college and pro action. Sunday Fun Day will also be stocked with the biggest Bloody Mary and Mimosa bar, along with the NFL Sunday Ticket and food trucks out back. Check out the Buccaneer Music Hall. Open every day, noon until 2 a.m., with live music every night, and now football and food trucks during the day. BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar in Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders. Hey, this is Troy D., proud ECU grad from the class of 94. And if you know me, you know I love the 90s here at ECU. It was some of our glory days, including bowl games, the Peach Bowl, and even a March Madness appearance. Relive those days with my friends from Tailgate Classics. Tailgate Classics is a cool retro store with all types of merchandise, including the 90s ECU vintage tees and hats. Check out Tailgate Classics in person, 304 Evans Street, or online at shoptailgateclassics.com. Tailgate Classics, bringing back the throwbacks.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, are you ready for some Warren's hot dogs? Warren's Original Hot and Judy's Mild Sweet Chili Hot Dogs have been the official hot dog of sports fans for over 30 years. Pick up a tailgate special this football season of 10 or more hot dogs for only $1.50 each. Warren's in Greenville across from Ron Ayers Motorsports and the new Chocowinity location next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some. Go Pirates.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show. Now, with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
Looks like we're going to have another team in the 70s, possibly. Miami is leading Central Connecticut State 69-0 in the fourth quarter, and they still have 8 minutes left to play in that game. Other scores, Clemson and NC State still tied at 7 apiece in the second quarter. Number 5, Iowa has a 7-0 lead over Colorado State in the second. Baylor leads Iowa State 14-7 in the second quarter. It's Louisville 17, Florida State 7. Michigan leads Rutgers 14-3. Arkansas has a 10-0 lead over Texas A&M in the second. UTSA has 6 points on the board, but they still trail Memphis 21-6 in the second quarter. Duke leads Kansas 7-0, and Auburn and Georgia State are tied at 3 apiece in the first quarter. That is a look at your Buck scoreboard, brought to you by the Buccaneer Music Hall. It's your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates. They are open from noon until 2 a.m. with live music every night and food trucks during the day during football season. Follow the Buck on Facebook and Instagram for an updated schedule, and we'll see you at the Buck. Now let's head back into the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
The Buck. Another big play for the Razorbacks, and he breaks free, and he's going to score on some awful tackling by Texas A&M. The Aggies' offense stinks, and their defense, which is supposed to be their strength, stinks as well.
Every time I look up, there's an Arkansas player just running to the end zone.
48-yard touchdown, which should have been a gain of about 12. But watch this tackling, or lack thereof, They're going to send a receiver in motion to the backfield. Just going to hit him with a simple pass to the flat.
Nice little
Makes
route.
the catch. Missed tackle.
2, 3. Oh, my. What
and the guy pushes him towards the end
Number
zone.
one, I mean, he seriously has got to have a bet on Arkansas. I mean, that is the most. He legitimately shoved him forward.
And gave him some extra speed to get to the end zone.
I mean, that was pitiful. You couldn't help a guy out anymore.
I didn't know that number one had a bet on Arkansas, so I think I should be able to change my pick back to Arkansas.
I mean, as long as I can, too.
Okay.
We'll just both go Arkansas.
We're going to start.
By the way.
I know. That's what I was about to bring up. The biggest score of the day right now. UConn up 13-0 on an FBS opponent, Wyoming.
An undefeated FBS opponent.
3-0 versus 0-4, and UConn is up 13-0. This is shocking. I don't know what the line was on that game, but UConn clearly the worst team in FBS football.
It is a tough trip, though, Wyoming to UConn.
Tough trip, tough kickoff time.
You know who, which former ECU staffer is on the Wyoming coaching staff?
Can you give me a year?
He was under Scotty Montgomery for all 3 years. I think there was only 2 of those.
Shannon
coaches.
Moore.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Nicely done. I think him and Tony Peterson were the only 2 that made it all 3 years.
You know what? I think you're right.
You know what? You're right. How's
Shannon
the
Moore.
Illinois offense going?
I don't think very good.
Is Chase Hayden? Is he making plays out there in Champaign?
I doubt it. I really doubt it. Let's get an Illinois update. They're losing 6-0 today. They are 1-3 on the year. And as I check the stats, Chase Hayden, former Pirate great, has 5 carries for 18 yards and a long rush of 7 yards.
You know what? You know what?
You know what? That's like the exact same stat line he had last year for ECU when he transferred out.
You know what? That's true.
What year is he, Igo? Can he transfer somewhere else?
He can, yeah. He's got his degree, and he's only a junior eligibility-wise.
Oh, cool. So he can, if he wants to, go somewhere. He should go back to Arkansas.
I want to say they're not going to take him. Just a hunch. By the way, Arkansas's turnaround's pretty dramatic.
Yeah. They were bottom of the barrel. Sam Pittman.
Yeah. So how much of this is him versus how much of this is Chad Morse's recruits?
I have no clue. That was like a real question though.
I'm legitimately
that I'm not
asking.
prepared to answer right now.
Like everybody in Arkansas hates Chad Morse, but clearly he recruited pretty well if they're just out there running dudes.
Yeah, Sam Pittman, they showed his bio earlier this game, and he was
just like an O-line coach,
an
right?
O-line coach in high school and college the last 38 years, and now he's the head coach at Arkansas, and they are just pounding teams. They beat the hell out of Texas, and now they are doing it to Texas A&M. They're showing the NC State highlight as the Wolfpack have a touchdown. Clemson and NC State tied at 7 apiece. We'll keep you up to date on what's going on.
Speaking of NC State, their head coach liked one of my tweets this morning.
Dave Doran?
Yeah, he liked an ECU beat writer tweet. Granted, it was about Ruff McNeil, current NC State assistant, but I was just very surprised to get that notification on my phone.
How do you spell Doran? I think it's
Doeren.
Yeah. I think he has me blocked. I'm not sure. I'll have to check it out. Like his name's not showing up here, so he might
Looks
have.
like he's got you blocked.
Yeah, I think I'm blocked for some reason. So he's not going to be liking any of my tweets. Igo. That is a real shame.
Well, Ruff still has my Hoist the Colors account blocked. So,
will Ruff be here for his Hall of Fame induction at the football game?
I hope so, but I don't know. I mean, they play at Florida State that day. I don't know if he travels with the team or not. You would hope. It would be such a cool moment if he is here.
Yeah.
And if it's a big game for ECU, like if they're having a good season, there's a good crowd, I can only imagine the ovation he would get and how many people would show up just to see Ruff.
Well, just think if they it was at halftime, they're announcing the people, and he comes through the tunnel and starts doing
oh my gosh, it would be incredible.
Hyping up the crowd. Chandler's crying right now. What a moment that would be.
Eyeball sweat, man.
At Dowdy Ficklin Stadium.
Get him on the mic. Get him on the stadium mic and just
I know.
tear the house down.
And he just he rips off. He's wearing a state shirt, and he rips it off. And as I want some, get some on a
That would
T-shirt
be
or something.
incredible.
All right, I'm doing Ruff and McNeil Hall of Fame induction fan fiction right now. So get your stories in. All right, tired of talking about this game, Steven. Do you have any final thoughts?
Not really, just ready for kickoff.
I know.
Will we see punt return for a touchdown today?
Yeah, I saw you try to speak that into existence on social media.
I've been trying to speak that and the indoor practice facility into existence.
You know what's funny? I did think earlier this week that this is for some games, or for every game in the NFL, you can bet on like defensive or special teams touchdown. For this game, if you had that option, I would take it because I do feel something like that's coming. Pick six.
Feels like it happens
block
a lot
punt
in FCS games.
Yeah.
Just because you're so outmanned in those phases. I think both I know the North Carolina Central game years ago, there was a fumble return for a touchdown. I think ECU scored on special teams and on defense against App State in the past when they were FCS. So
Lance Ray.
Yeah, it's a possibility for sure.
Great note from Glenn Griffin, who just sent me. We were talking about Dave Doran and NC State. According to Dave Meltzer, you know who that is?
The wrestling guy.
Dirt sheet guy. Raw commentary team was not allowed to say the name Raleigh during this week's broadcast, even though that's where the show was in North Carolina. WWE thinks Raleigh doesn't sound prestigious enough, so it is on the latest entry of WWE's list of banned words.
So did they just say North Carolina, or what did they go with?
I don't know. Coming to you live from beautiful North Carolina. I don't know. But
I feel
and who knows if that's true or not, but
yeah. Well, Dave Meltzer also reported that Edge would not be back on TV this year, and he's going to be on SmackDown next week.
I do love that, though, that Raleigh, they won't say
hilarious.
Raleigh. By the way, they are getting their ass kicked by AEW right now, and they're worried about stuff like this.
Yeah.
So it kind of tells you where the
terrible
priorities lie for WWE. All right, I think I'm done with you, Igo.
I'm done with you as well. I don't have anything else to say. So
we are out of words.
Chandler just really throwing shade behind the glass.
So now when you are walking to the stadium and hey, people are talking to you, you'll be like, you're out of words.
Yeah, I would just be like, I can't talk, man.
Nothing to say. Can't say anything. Steven, what do you think about the game?
Really, there's nothing to say. Honestly, if people see me, they're not even going to ask about this game. They're going to be like, how cool was it being at Marshall?
Yeah. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Out at the Pirate Radio tailgate zone, Bryant Packard, Evan Voliva, and Jake Washer.
That is a trio right there.
So that's pretty cool. Hope to get Jake Washer on the show, and maybe all those guys soon, after their minor league seasons have wrapped up. Alec Burleson's still raking, by the way.
Yeah, he is.
So does AAA go on longer than the others?
I want to say it goes on through past this month or so.
Wow.
I know Shirley hasn't updated season.
I don't know exactly how long they played, but I did see a report, and I have to go back and see if I can find it, but Dylan Carson is an outfielder for the St. Louis Cardinals, and he has some sort of lingering injury where they have discussed that if in the event, because of course the Cardinals are trying to make a playoff run.
Well, they've won how many in a row?
Yeah, they're on a tear. But rumor has it that that if Dylan Carson, if his injury kind of rears its ugly head, that there is a possibility that Alec could get called up to take his place. So that's something that we're going to keep a close eye on, just in the event, that rumor does come true. We'll keep an eye on that. But I do know that some of the guys in the minor league systems are done as far as their seasons go. Bryant Packard is back in the area. As a matter of fact, I saw him at Freeboot last night. And then
he's at the tailgate zone now.
Oh, is he? Okay,
yeah,
I didn't know
that, Chandler.
Oh, thank you.
Pulled a Chandler.
Yeah, I pulled a Chandler. See, this is what happens
I heard
when he sits right beside me. I start.
I can see Chandler.
I was not
smirking in the
paying
background.
attention. I wasn't paying attention.
Yep.
Okay,
it happens.
so
Happens to the best of us.
No, he's rubbing off on me, and that's not good.
I go. Who sang the song "Rumor Has It"?
No,
Rumor has it.
Oh, I know that one.
You want to take a guess?
Don't you say
Don't
it,
know.
Chandler.
Rumor has it.
I have no idea.
We can say it on the count of 3. 1, 2,
Adele.
3. Adele.
Oh, you're a jerk, man.
You prick.
Whoa! You can't say that. That's like saying Raleigh. All right, thanks, Steven.
Thanks for having me. Go Mariners.
Mariners have won 6 in a row and are in the mix in the AL wild card chase. We will take a timeout, come back. Double B, Brian Bailey joins us when we return on the Bud Light pregame tailgate after this.
Hello folks, this is Jamie Lane with Carolina Hardscapes and Mulch. We believe that making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio, fireplace, pool, walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call at 364-1201. You can stop by our outdoor showroom on Fire Tower Road across from Bostic Sugg Furniture. At Carolina Hardscapes, we look forward to making your backyard the place to be. Find us on the web at carolinahardscapesandmulch.com.
When your family gathers around a shakaroni from Papa John's, you're sharing more than extra cheese and pepperoni. You're sharing scholarships, meals, and laughter. Because $1 from every shakaroni goes to charity. That's pizza with a purpose.
Hey, Pirate fans, the Shakaroni Pizza is back, and only for $13. Plus $1 from every purchase goes to charity. The Shakaroni is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Tired and sluggish? Down in the dumps? Or just have the blahs? Maybe you need to hydrate. Revive Health and Wellness on East 10th Street in Greenville offers IV hydration that can help you with lack of energy, improve your mood, assist with immunity, even fix a hangover. Locally owned and operated, the team at Revive Health and Wellness are experienced and licensed registered nurses that will assist you in preparing for your IV session. Call or text today with questions or to set an appointment with Revive Health and Wellness. 252-350-1805. That's 252-350-1805.
Hi, this is Todd Mitchum with Mercer Glass, Eastern North Carolina's most complete glass company. Mercer Glass specializes in windows, shower doors, auto glass, and mirrors. We can install or repair almost anything made of glass in your home or business. So give us a call at Mercer Glass. That's 752-5101. That's 752-5101.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Megan State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Pirate Radio.
And you write that down, because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it!
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Watch all of Pirate Radio's local programming on YouTube Live. Go to YouTube and search for Pirate Radio TV and subscribe today. Watch Pirate Radio Live Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. in the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate in the U.S. Cellular Fifth Quarter on game days. Just go to YouTube, search Pirate Radio TV, and click on the subscribe button. Now let's head back into the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, watching some games here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Right now, Arkansas all over Texas A&M in Jerry World, 17-0. Certainly the best team you'll see play in Jerry World this year on the field right now is the Arkansas Razorbacks. Ooh. That was for our next guest coming up. Clemson and NC State tied at 7. A couple of scores there on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard.
The Panthers make the way to Jerry World next week.
The 3-0 Panthers? That'll be a big ball game. Cowboys got Monday Night Football coming up against the Eagles. You can hear it right here on Pirate Radio. You can also hear the Brian Bailey Show on Pirate Radio on Monday at noon and at 6 o'clock. And Double B joins us now from Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. What's up, Bailey?
What's going on? Happy game day.
Happy game day to you. Already saw you were out at the Pirate Radio tailgate zone. What a beautiful day for football, friends, family. Just a fantastic day here in Greenville.
It really is. I've got my daughter and son-in-law and little grandson Luke's in town. That's been a blast. Bella's out and Melissa's out at the tailgate. So it's been a lot of fun. My brother's in town with his wife and one of his sons. So, that's what it's all about, man. Family, football, the fall, the great weather, and, the Pirates get a big win tonight. Everybody will be happy.
No doubt. We were fired up last week after the win, and it really reinvigorated the fan base, Bailey, to come out today. Because, again, we hadn't talked about it much during this program, but we've mentioned in the past, people did not have a great experience for the most part at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium a couple weeks ago from the game and the things around the game. So it is nice they got that win last week. They'll give it another shot today. Hopefully things go smoother inside the stadium.
Yeah, and that's the big question mark right now. You're playing a team that you should be better than. You just can't take a step backward. I think the program took a huge step forwards with the fourth quarter the other night in Huntington, West Virginia. It's a fourth quarter I'll never forget. And I think that you take that big step forward, you just can't afford to go back right now. You got to continue to go forward. And I think you guys said it earlier, it would set up a really, exciting atmosphere next week when Tulane comes to town. I mean, all of a sudden you're starting conference play. Everybody's, pretty much 0-0, and you split the 4 games in the non-conference slate. The Pirates really wish they could go 3-1. That's not going to happen because of the South Carolina game. But they came back, beat Marshall, a good Marshall football team, but they just got to keep that momentum going forward.
Brian Bailey joining us. Bailey, Jeff Charles said earlier that, Mike Houston told him they've had a good week of practice. That doesn't always translate to wins on game day Saturday, but I do think that's important because ECU's got to handle success. They got to handle a come-from-behind victory like that. 24-hour rule, get back to practice, and from what you know, being around the team and the coaches this week, do you feel like they've been able to do that?
Yeah, and I think the other key is the ringing message all week long was respect your opponent. And I don't think East Carolina's in a position where they can't, they can afford to disrespect an opponent. They got to come out and treat this team like it's South Carolina or Marshall or, Appalachian State. I mean, they've got to come out and play their brand of football. And I think you'll see that in this game. I think it's, I saw some of the, it's not, some betting sites don't have a real point spread, but we have seen CBS Sports, somebody 27.5.
I got it at,
and that's 4 touchdowns. That's a lot.
I got it at 25. I was going to bring that up to you next, Bailey. What do you have a score in mind for today's game?
Yeah, I think something like 38-17 or something like that. It may be one of those deals that the Pirates blow it open later on. Blake Harrell and some of the staff walking by right now. Good luck to you fellas. Give them hell now.
You hear? Give them hell now. I always wonder what the Brian Bailey pregame speech is. I like that one. That's a good one, Bailey.
Yeah, I could give a pregame speech, man. That's one of the things I remember most about high school football. Our coach, man, I think he cried before every and I just think that was, I just thought that was awesome. I think back to that and I think, man, he was so emotionally invested in everything we were doing, and I think that's what it takes in football.
Yeah, you got to keep and you got to have a different message every week. You got to get the guys locked in. The message this week, Bailey, respect your opponent, and also Mike Houston doesn't want to lose to Charleston Southern again, 0-3. So if there's one guy motivated to win this game today, it's the head football coach of the Pirates.
Yeah, I would say he's most certainly motivated. And again, I think it's he's trying to build this program. He told us all along it was going to take a while. He said, give us to year 3 or year 4. We're in year 3. And I think that, again, that fourth quarter, I really sincerely believe that fourth quarter saved the football season for this year, and they've just got to continue to build on it.
BB, thanks for joining us, man. Have fun out there at the game, and if we got time, we might check in with you late night tonight. What do you think about your Cowboys Monday night? Can they beat the Eagles?
Well, I know they can beat the Eagles. Now, whether they go out and, the defense has been better, and I think if the defense plays well, I think they will beat the Eagles. But it's it's always a big rivalry game, NFC East battle, and hopefully we're back to the days of these being NFC East battles, being pillow fights.
Yep, you're right about that. Bailey, thanks for joining us, man. Enjoy the game.
All right. Y'all take care.
BB, Brian Bailey joining us on the Fixed NC Live line ahead of East Carolina and Charleston Southern. Brett McMurphy tweeting out 1 minute ago, signs of the apocalypse. UConn up 13-3 on Wyoming. Kansas up 10-7 on Duke. So we got some surprises today. The biggest surprise thus far, that's a final, although UConn beating Wyoming would be insane, but Bowling Green going to Minnesota as a 30.5-point underdog and winning outright 14-10, the biggest shocker of the day thus far. We've also seen some 70s on the board. Texas rolled up 70 on Texas Tech. Miami had 69 at last check, and I'll check it again real quick to see if they can hit the 70 mark. That might have gone final, as Miami was crushing Central Connecticut State with 69 points on the board. So, 69-0, that final score. Texas hit 70. 77 points for Pittsburgh today, and a win over New Hampshire, 77-7. So, really some wild scores across college football on this Saturday. A quick look at your Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. All right, we will take a timeout. Let's set up hour number 4. We got a tailgate check-in coming up with Troy D. We'll hear from the defensive coordinator of the Pirates, Blake Harrell. We'll talk to Jeff Charles. Brian North will join us in the 4th hour as well. And we have to make our fantasy selections and official predictions from Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, and the crew. We'll take a time out and enjoy some more Community Calzone as they hook us up with an awesome pregame meal. Community Calzone on Greenwood Boulevard across from Parker's. You can get an Italian calzone, a cheesesteak. I went with the breakfast calzone with sausage, egg, and cheese. It was awesome. They have salads, they have wings, they have cookies, which were fantastic as well. Community Calzone, you can give them a call, 561-7444, or check them out in their location there on Greenville Boulevard over across from Parker's Barbecue. We will take a time out, come back. Hour 4 of Pirate Radio Live. Psych, the Bud Light pregame tailgate is on the way after this.
Do you suffer from allergies, asthma, or any other sinus problems? Perhaps professional cleaning of your air ducts could help. Family owned and operated in Winterville for over 22 years, Carolina Quality Air was the first certified duct cleaning company in Eastern North Carolina. From residential to commercial, they can handle any size job, big or small, including our studios here at Pirate Radio. Carolina Quality Air uses a sanitizer that kills mold in your ductwork and over 100 viruses, including the coronavirus. Visit them online at CarolinaQualityAir.com. Guess what, Greenville? Calzones are back. Community Calzone is the only restaurant in town specializing in calzones. Choose from over 50 different calzones, or you design your own with unlimited options, including vegetarian. Community Calzone also features wings, huge salads, and more. Plus, they deliver to almost everywhere in Pitt County. Located on Greenville Boulevard next to Ashley Furniture Warehouse, they're open for lunch, dinner, and late night for dine-in, pickup, or delivery. It's Community Calzone.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Are you suffering from anxiety, sleep issues, or chronic pain? Have you heard of CBD? You can learn about the benefits of CBD right here in Greenville at the Hemp Garden. Hemp Garden offers a variety of products and solutions that are truly making a difference in our community. Hemp Garden also provides products that can assist with energy and focus. Have a pet? Come check out their selection of CBD pet products. Visit Hemp Garden to speak with a CBD specialist in a relaxed and welcoming environment today. Exclusive discounts are offered to first-time customers. Hemp Garden, located at 3040 South Evans Street in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. At Grifols, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifolsplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I'm here. State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer and my team are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score some savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show. Now, with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
Well, Duke has retaken the lead over Kansas. It is now 14-10. The Blue Devils leading the Jayhawks in the first quarter. It is Clemson, NC State still tied at 7 apiece. Colorado State has scored a touchdown. They are now tied with number 5 Iowa at 7 apiece. Iowa State still trailing Baylor 21-10 in the second quarter. It's Louisville 24, Florida State 7 in the second quarter. Michigan has a 17-3 lead over Rutgers. Arkansas still holding on to that 17-0 lead over Texas A&M in the second. Memphis has a 21-7 lead over UTSA in the second quarter. Georgia State is now leading number 23 Auburn 10-6 in the second quarter. And it is Wyoming trailing UConn 13-3 in the second quarter. And that is a look at your scoreboard brought to you by the Buccaneer Music Hall. It's your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in Eastern North Carolina. They are open from noon until 2 a.m. with live music every night. And now during football season, they have food trucks during the day. Follow the Buck on Facebook and Instagram for updated schedules, and we'll see you at the Buck. Now let's head back into the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
The Buck. The Buck. Weird scores across college football on this Saturday. Has nothing to do with East Carolina and Charleston Southern, but I don't know. Makes me feel a little weird heading into the game. We've seen some upsets. We've seen some teams that are bottom feeders and cellar dwellers coming up and winning a game earlier, like Bowling Green, or currently winning, like UConn. So, also Georgia State, Shirley, I'm glad you mentioned that one, leading at Auburn right now. So, kind of a weird day in college football. We will keep you up to date on what's going on here on our Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. We are going to go out to Troy D here momentarily. And that's probably him calling in right now. Once again, thanks to Community Calzone for our awesome pregame food. You can check them out on Greenville Boulevard across from Parker's Barbecue, as we had some fantastic calzones and some cookies earlier during our broadcast. We'll now head out to the Pirate Radio Tailgate Zone, get one more check-in from Troy D, as we are about an hour away from kicking things off East Carolina and Charleston Southern. Troy, what's going on out there?
Man, it is bumping out here, Clip. It is fantastic, as we are, as you mentioned, an hour away. So we're at max capacity right now at the tailgate zone, and the chicken, food, and sides is absolutely delicious. Thanks to Brandon Manning from Farm Bureau doing an incredible job of cooking out here.
and we're feeding the friends and family of Pirate Radio's Tailgate Zone here, and having a great time. Of course, drinking plenty of ice cold Pepsis and Bud Lights, and we couldn't do it without our sponsors. And it's just another great event. As I mentioned last hour, the weather's absolutely perfect. We've had so many folks. It's always like a mini homecoming, these type of games, but especially a night game, as I said before. It's been so long since we've had just an ideal condition night game like this. I can't even remember the last time we've had a tailgate probably this good. And it was great to visit with Jeff Barber, the AD of Charleston Southern. We're going to put that out on our video on Facebook and Twitter. We did an on-location with him. He came and hung out with us for about 15 minutes at the Tailgate Zone. You saw former Pirates, a lot of great baseball players that stopped by hanging out with us too. So it's been a great scene out here. We have had an absolute blast, and the food is good, the drinks are good, the company's good. So as we always like to say, we've never lost a tailgate, and this one has been fantastic. If the game goes as good as the tailgate, this should be an incredible victory for the Pirates. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Hey, Troy, Igo was just with us last hour. He went out, parked, and walked through the tailgate lots and headed to the stadium. He just tweeted, this is the ECU tailgating scene I remember. I like reading that tweet, Troy. You're there living it, but that win last week just re-energized everyone.
It really did, and I don't want to overhype. You know me, Cliff. I always call it straight, man. I don't sugarcoat things, and I don't try and beat people up when things are going bad. I just try and call it the way it is. And as far as tailgating right now, I got to agree with Igo. This kind of, if you just drop me off right now today, this has East Carolina back in the good old days, like when they were winning conference championships, and it was fun, and everybody was out there having a good time, and there were huge crowds. This has the feel like almost, man, we're back, at least on the tailgate fields for today we are. Now, can ECU capitalize on it? They need a big win today. A big win today will roll that momentum into next week for homecoming, and people are going to have a great time. The weather looks already nice for next weekend, hopefully. They'll want to come back again. So then you repeat it again next week, and if you can beat Tulane next week, assuming a win today, East Carolina's 3-2. Then all of a sudden, man, anything's possible as far as a successful season this year or going to a bowl game. So, yeah, I do agree with what Steven has put out there. I've been living it since 12 o'clock noon, and it's been a great scene. And as the day has gone on, man, it is just, I talked to Jeff Charles, who was out here earlier, and he walks around a little bit before he comes to visit with us. And the lots that are usually half empty or totally empty are full. And there are people, as far as I can see, from left to right, front to back, a sea of absolute, I know it's a gold out, but there's a lot of purple out here too. But it is an absolute sea of purple and gold, guys. And it does have the feeling that, as I said, at least today, man, the fan base is back.
That is great to hear. Troy D., good to chat with you, man. We'll talk to you Monday on Pirate Radio Live. Enjoy the game, and go Pirates.
Look forward to it. Thank you, guys. Take care.
All right, there's Troy D. Out of the Pirate Radio Tailgate Zone, getting a little nostalgic and choked up as that win last week did wonders for this crowd today and for this fan base.
Yeah, I wish I could go out there and experience it, but being right here at the Pirate Radio Studios and being neighbors to the UBE parking lot has been just blasting all day long. There's been cars filled in the parking lot all day long. It's been a sea of people going in and out of UBE, and that's just awesome to see people in their gold shirts. So, getting back to, a lot of excitement in Pirate Nation.
No doubt about it. It's been fantastic to see. We will hear from Blake Harrell coming up in just a moment. Let's hear a little bit more from Mike Houston earlier this week as Mike Houston talked about how he keeps up the success that the Pirates had last Saturday. How do you handle it? How do you keep that momentum moving forward, Shirley? This is Cut 6 from Mike Houston.
It's the same. It's the same every day. I mean, it's a part of our process, and that's pushing ourselves to be the best every day. Push ourselves to improve every day. Always chasing perfection. You're never going to achieve it, but we're always chasing it, and it's you talk about just philosophy wise, what you hang your hat on, and it's it's pushing yourself to be the best in whatever you're doing every single day, and that's what we demand of each other. And I think the kids, it's now a culture where the kids demand it of each other. I mean, just how hard we played the other night, and it's that's something that was really a negative deal when I got here, and the kids. I mean, they've embraced everything, and it's, I'm excited about this group. I haven't wavered from that since last spring and in the summer. I'm still excited about them today, and I can't wait to see them play on Saturday. It's going to be great to be back at home. It's going to be great to have our fan base back. We should have a great crowd Saturday. 6:05 kickoff. Should be great weather. And just like we've said many times, after what we went through last year, with no fans, it's just we're going to celebrate it. We're going to enjoy it.
All right, you can check it out on ESPN Plus if you're not at the game tonight, but sounds like going to be a good Pirate crowd and hopefully one that'll celebrate a Pirate victory. And man, Chandler, Shirley, everybody here was fired up last week after a Pirate win because it meant we got to have a nice U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show. And that, Troy's going back over like great tailgates from the past. That was a throwback to great fifth quarters from yesteryear, and it was awesome to have.
Absolutely. And, I remember tuning in after big wins back in the day and being able to be here and help take the calls and hear from the Pirate fans after that win last week was just awesome. And the attitude from all of us was a lot different from the first two games, no doubt. Hopefully we can have that same attitude coming up tonight.
Well, that was Weaver's first win because he just started here with us this year. Chandler, you've been around, but that was that your first real fun party post-game experience?
Yeah, well, that SMU game last year was a good win. I mean, but that was
the season ender.
That was the last game of the season. I mean, we weren't going to a bowl game. The bowl game hopes are still intact here. But yeah, that's definitely the biggest win and the most exciting and fun fifth quarter that I've been a part of in what is my second year being here on the pregame and postgame.
We'll be giving out our score predictions in a moment, also our fantasy picks. What do you think the score will be? You can hit us up on Twitter or on Facebook Live and drop your score. And Cav on Facebook Live says, has anyone said they may use Keaton Mitchell on punt or kickoffs? I think you got a guy you like in Snead in those returns, and I don't want to give Mitchell any more extra.
Don't use him like McCaffrey.
You could do him like a maybe an emergency deal when they used to put Deion Sanders back at punt return late in the game to see if he could break one. If you need to break one, maybe get him ready for that. But today, no, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, and it's like you said, we already got a guy like Tyler Snead that's shifty and has the speed and the ability to make big plays on the return. So, I mean, when you have a guy like that, I think it'd be fun to see what Keaton Mitchell can do returning punts and kicks, but I don't think you'll see that.
It is Weird Score Saturday on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. So, Vanderbilt lost earlier today. What was that final score against Georgia?
It was Georgia. Last time I checked, it was
62-0. Vanderbilt went on the road and beat Colorado State. Colorado State's 1-2.
They only. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Colorado State leads Iowa 14-7 at halftime. Iowa is 5th in the country.
I was going to say Vanderbilt had. Here's a stat to consider: 77 total yards.
Yeah, I saw. Might have been Pat 40.
How many did you do? How many?
77 total yards.
Good gracious.
I saw Pat 40 was keeping up with the score versus yards. Instead, Vanderbilt was not going to score, so you might as well try to find a different thing to compare. He was comparing all game the yards they had versus the Georgia points. And Georgia had them for a while.
Yep.
But Vanderbilt was able to get into the 70s. Congratulations to them.
Speaking of Georgia State just scored another touchdown. They lead Auburn 17-9.
What?
It's halftime in Raleigh.
Huh?
The Pack tied with the Tigers of Clemson 7-7. They missed a potential go-ahead field goal at the end of the half. NC State did. I saw a crazy stat to consider. James Skowski, the linebacker for Clemson, they showed him a graphic. He has 10 championship rings between national championships and bowl games, and it's also his 60th game played for the Clemson Tigers in his career.
Wow. That is one for every finger and the thumbs. That's pretty impressive.
Yep.
So he's got a lot of hardware there. All right, let's take a time out. When we return, Blake Harrell, ECU defensive coordinator. his guys came up big when they needed to in the fourth quarter, and I think they're going to be motivated to go out and play a good game today after giving up a lot of yards last week to the Marshall Thundering Herd. We will talk about that. Oh, no. Donald Juan on Twitter says he doesn't have a gold ECU shirt to wear and said, should I wear this? He has.
Oh, no, that god-awful gold.
I thought we got rid of all those.
Oh, no.
He's got the official jersey from when ECU wore the golds against NC State and got blown out. Don't wear that. Burn it immediately. Don, that's my advice. Blake Carroll, we'll hear from him when we return on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Back with you after this.
Why do I run? Is it because I'm driven? Because I love the challenge? God, no. I do it for the beer. If you're the kind of runner who does it for the beer, this summer you can get one on us with the Michelob Ultra Beer Run. Grab your run buddies and get out there, because this summer there's beer at the finish line. Sign up at ultrabeerrun.com and trade your miles for beer.
At US Cellular, we believe you should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money. Right now, get up to $1,200 off any 5G phone. The choice is yours. Any of our 5G phones with no trade-in or hidden fees. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2021 Buick Encore GX. Save over $3,000 or 0% financing for 72 months. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty on all new and pre-owned vehicles.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Other food delivery apps charge surprise fees, but Domino's is giving away $50 million worth of surprise frees, like free pizza, lava cakes, or cheesy bread when you order delivery online. And we found some unique ways to get the word out.
Like shouting from the rooftop! Free cheesy!
Screaming it! We even called Paul Revere.
Free lava cakes are coming!
Order delivery online and you could get a surprise free from Domino's. No purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents 13 and up through 11/21/21. Odds of winning are 1 in 14. See rules at surprisefrees.domino's.com for free entry, blackout dates, restrictions, and details.
This is Holton Ahlers, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light pregame tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back for the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner. Be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at PR927FM, on Twitter at FreePR927FM. Join the close to 50,000 followers today. Now let's head back into the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, back with you on a fast-moving edition of the Bud Light pregame tailgate. East Carolina and Charleston Southern at 6 o'clock. Pirates a 25-point favorite in this game. And we'll be with you after the game on the U.S. Sailor 5th quarter call-in show. Let's take a look at some numbers on the defensive side of the ball for East Carolina on our UBE stat sheet. The Pirates right now giving up 30 points a game. East Carolina is giving up 179 yards a game on the ground. They were gashed pretty hard by Marshall last week. Pirates giving up 305 through the air, as Grant Wells had a big one through the air last week. 485 the total that opponents are averaging against East Carolina right now. Some good numbers. East Carolina is allowing 33% of third downs, 12 of 36 on the year. That number was helped a whole lot by South Carolina a couple weeks ago. Teams just 1 of 2 on fourth down against East Carolina. The Pirates in the red zone have allowed scores 10 out of 13 times. Here's a pretty good number. Teams are scoring under 50% touchdowns in the red zone. Teams are 6 out of 13 in the red zone scoring touchdowns. So Pirates, we've seen the bend but don't break. We saw it at the beginning of the game last week as East Carolina held Marshall out of the end zone, and the Pirates scored the first touchdown in that game, as they've done every game this season so far. And then we saw it late, holding Marshall to a field goal, and also, of course, holding them on a 4th down late in the game. So East Carolina's defense has stood tall when they need to. Again, this stat, didn't bring it up with Ronnie today. We talked about it last week, and it hurt the Pirates. East Carolina has done great in the fourth quarter, outscoring opponents 34-12 this year. They've been good enough, not great, in the first and second. They're being outscored by 4 points in the first quarter, 6 in the second quarter. The Pirates are getting outscored in the third quarter, 28-3. And that's something that they need to clean up coming out of the locker room moving forward. Let's hear what Blake Harrell had to say a little bit about last week, and also looking ahead to Charleston Southern. Here's his chat with the voice, Jeff Charles.
Visit now with defensive coordinator Blake Harrell. And, Coach, first off, let's talk about this Charleston Southern offense. We understand their quarterback is a guy who can make things happen. So, first of all, tell us about Jack Chambers.
Yeah, known Jack since he was in high school, Parkview High School, and a very good football player there, and recruited him a little bit when I was at the Citadel. And played against him a couple times, so very familiar with Jack. And he's doing a good job with that offense, spreading the ball around. Very athletic guy that can make plays with his legs if it breaks down the pass game, or if it's quarterback design run. And when he's on the move, too, he can hurt you looking down the field and scramble, drills. So very strong arm and good player, and doing a good job running that offense.
Well, let's talk about that offense, running that offense. What exactly is it?
Well, I think they're more air raid. And a lot of people hear air raid and think they're going to throw it all over the yard, but they're a very balanced team. I think they're rushing about 150, throwing for about 250, so about 400 a game right now. And really on first and second down, they're about 50-50 run pass. They're going to control pass it and short game and take their shots down the field, but they're also going to make sure they're able to run the ball. So they're a very, very balanced offense. And the OC was with the Howell Mummy at one time, who was in that Mike Leach tree, and so that's kind of where they want to be right there.
Coach, let's talk about your defense. Again, forcing turnovers last week was big. I know how much you guys emphasize that, and boy, I'll tell you what, it can change games, can it?
No doubt, and that's probably the number one goal for us each week is forcing 3 turnovers. And that's our goal, and each and every week, and we were able to do that last couple of weeks and going in. And, that was the focus, and we got some guys that go up and get the ball and punching, knocking the ball out, and able to recover it. So those prevent scores, and those are just as good as a punt. So excited about that, and just got to keep focusing on that, and got to clean a few other things up and get back to playing our brand of football.
How amazing was the game Miles Berry played? He lost his father last week, and he goes out and he plays in the game. He makes 7 tackles, second best on the team last week. It was a remarkable performance, wasn't it? Yeah,
I just really felt for Miles, but I think him being around his teammates and being around each other really helps him heal. And just really proud of him and everything that he's done, the way he's carried himself. And I know he's struggling, but he's battling through it, and his teammates are doing a great job of being there for him.
Coach, let's talk about Jaquan McMillan. He has 9 career picks now at ECU. He stepped up and made the big play at the end of the game. What do you see when you see Jaquan, and just how well he is playing and how he is maturing with your defense?
J-Mac's just solid. I mean, every time you know where J-Mac's going to be, you know what he's going to be doing. He's going to get his best effort, and the ball's his way. More times than not, he's going to come up with it. So he's a guy we can count on, and you depend on him making a play. And when the game's on the line, he does. Whether it's going back to SMU last year or last Saturday night, last drive of the game, last play of the game. So just excited about what he does, and not only within our corners room, but within our defense and with our program. There's a lot of guys that look up to him, and we kind of pointed to Jaquan and say, hey, this is the way, you need to carry yourself. This is the way you need to work, and his hard work is paying off.
Hard work's paying off for your defensive linemen, too, Coach. You're rotating so many guys in and out. Who is standing out, though, week to week up front for you?
I think the new face up front that a lot of people may not know about is Surad Ware. He's kind of popped off the last couple of weeks and had a couple good games, a sack in each game, and being a force in there. And he's got to continue to grow and continue to come along. Didn't get a lot of snaps last year, but he's the guy that's kind of the new face in the crowd. We hope to get Elijah Morris back, pretty quickly here. He missed the South Carolina game, played sparingly last week, and we're hoping to get him back full speed pretty soon. But Emmanuel Hickman's doing a nice job up front for us, being a force there, and you'll see Rick DeBray, who's making some plays and coming along and getting used to the defensive end spot. So excited about that group as a whole and just the direction they're heading.
You talk about Surratt. He's the guy that can really get a push up front, isn't he?
Yeah, he plays with a nice base, low center of gravity, very strong kid, and just knocking guys back with us in the pass game and run game and create some havoc in the backfield for us.
Coach, key or two, what's your defense going to have to do to stop this Charleston Southern offense?
When they go tempo, we got to make sure we get lined up and we're set and ready to play defense and get our feet in the ground. All guys got their 11 cleats in the ground. They got their eyes where they're supposed to be, and we're ready to get downhill and go play. And then we just got to go turn it loose. We got to get back to, going and attacking ball carriers, not getting there and stopping their feet and doing a great job with their tackling. Their run game is still very strong, and I think if we can stop the run game and put them in second and long, as we say each and every week, that gives us the advantage. So we got to win the first down and put them in long, uncomfortable situations. And, excited that we're at home and in front of our fans, and, hopefully that'll put their offense in a little bit of panic, just being that crowd noise and hearing the fans of Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium and the Boneyard. And so we're really excited about that and fired up to play this game and go face Charleston Southern.
That's ECU defensive coordinator Blake Harrell.
All right, there is Blake Harrell, and the one thing the Pirates have done has been opportunistic on defense, forcing fumbles, especially near the goal line. They've been able to do that, and also getting interceptions. Jaquan McMillan with the game-winning pick sealed the deal for the Pirates last week in Huntington against Marshall. And this defense has been able to force those turnovers this year, and we'll see if they can do the same today. Got a scrambling quarterback on the other side, and he, who knows if he gets out of the pocket and Pirates can harass him, maybe he'll throw up a few interceptions for East Carolina's defense on this Saturday. Eric says Pirates 56, Charleston Southern 10. Wow, that'd be nice. He said he'll see everybody next week. He'll be cheering on the Pirates from Charlotte today.
No, I was trying to go back to what you were talking about as far as the defense. Earlier this week, Tom McClellan had tweeted out that dating back to 2021, so the end of last season, heading into this season, 5 straight games where there has been an interception.
Dating back to 2020.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, okay. 2020 and 2021. Mm-hmm. But dating back to 2020. 5 straight games with an interception. The longest winning streak was 6 back in 2014, and 4 of those 6 interceptions in those games were by
Coach Smith. Who were those interceptions by?
Who's your favorite dude? Fo Smith?
Well, coaching in college football for over 40 years, I have plenty of favorite players, but mine probably has to be Josh Hawkins.
Josh Hawkins.
Josh Hawkins.
Coach Smith loved to talk about Josh Hawkins, who still playing today, right?
No.
And not in Canada?
Oh, he may be in Canada. The last I had heard, he was cut by the Panthers, but I hadn't checked to see if he was up in Canada.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I'll go back and look. You know what? I'll look it up. I'll look it up during the break. How about that?
Look it up, Shirley. Look it up.
Google them up.
Look it up, Shirley. Look it up. I like that.
Google them up.
Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Thanks, Coach. Good to hear from you.
And by the way, Josiah has 4. Jaquan. Sorry, not Josiah.
This
Jaquan.
has been a rough end of this segment. We really need a break.
Jaquan has 4.
Jaquan McMillan.
Yes, thank you.
He is still playing for East Carolina.
Yes, I know that. I know that.
He'll be there out there today. They're out there today. We got to get a break. This is bad. This is bad, bad.
I think we're having a calzone hangover is what we're having.
I just finished my second half of my calzone, and those calzones are huge.
They're big.
They are big. They're huge.
They're big.
And, you can literally have one for lunch and have the other for dinner, or if you're like me and are hungry enough, you can eat the whole thing.
Yeah, have a little pre-game meal as we are kicking off around 35 minutes from now on ESPN Plus. It'll be East Carolina and Charleston Southern. We will talk to Brian North about this one when we return, get his thoughts on this game, and bounce around the other games going on in college football. We'll take a look at our Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard when we return on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. We roll on after these words.
Burgers, wings, hand-cut, hand-breaded chicken tenders, fresh salads, and cold beer is the starting lineup at Tiebreakers and has been keeping customers happy for 20 years. Tiebreakers' family atmosphere is the perfect place to come watch your favorite team play while enjoying a great lunch or dinner. In a hurry or looking for catering options? Get Tiebreakers to go. That now includes the new curbside pickup by ordering online at tiebreakersnc.com. Tiebreakers.
Tommy's Express Car Wash is the car wash Greenville is talking about. At the corner of Red Banks Road and Greenville Boulevard, this state-of-the-art wash will keep your car looking great. And now Tommy's has just launched its new 2.0 Tommy's Express app. And anyone who downloads the app now will receive 30 free days of washing with their top-of-the-line wash, the Works Wash. Download the Tommy's Express app now by going to your app store or visit them on location, open 7 days a week at the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road.
You know texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
This is Coach Blake Carroll, defense coordinator for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show. Now, with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, a couple of games have resumed, and a couple of games have gone into halftime. At the half, it is Clemson and NC State tied at 7 apiece. Utah is clinging to a 17-13 lead over Washington State in the fourth quarter. Colorado State leads number 5 Iowa 14-7 in the third. At the half, it is Baylor 21, Iowa State 13. Louisville has gone into the locker room at halftime with a 31-13 lead over Florida State. Rutgers trails Michigan 20-3 at halftime, and Arkansas leads Texas A&M 17-3 at the half. And Memphis has just gotten out of the locker. They just resumed the third quarter. They lead UTSA 21-7, and UConn is holding on to that 13-3 lead over Wyoming midway through the third quarter. And that is a look at your Buck scoreboard, brought to you by the Buccaneer Music Hall. It's your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in eastern North Carolina. The Buck is open from noon until 2 a.m. with live music every night. And now during football season, they have food trucks during the day. Follow the Buck on Facebook and Instagram for the latest updated schedule, and we will see you at the Buck. Now let's head back into the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
The Buck. I'm telling you, it is Weird Score Saturday. A lot of weird things happening right now across college football. A lot of teams you don't expect to see winning games right now. And we'll keep you up to date on everything going on until we are off the air at 6 o'clock. And Also, coming up tonight on the U.S. Sailor 5th Quarter Call-In Show, we'll give you all the night action going on as well. Right now, we'll head out to the Fixed NC Live line and talk to WCTI 12's Brian North, who joins us on the program. North, how you doing today, man?
Weird college football Saturday. I'm actually at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium, Clip.
Are you?
Hall pass. I got the hall pass. Grandma came through, and she is on terrorist duty, and I am in the thick.
Good for you, Brian. Are you ready to give us your world famous press box food update?
I was hustling. I was hustling to try to get there.
Oh, you hadn't got there yet?
Elevator. Yeah. So look, I'm rusty here. So.
That's all right. That's all right.
I'm walking in now.
Shoot me a. Let us know while we're on the air, Brian. Last night, we'll talk about games going on around the area and get to East Carolina. But good call on Wake Forest, man. They look like the real deal. They went up to Virginia last night, picked up a win. They are 4-0. Their schedule is super light for the next 3-4 weeks, and then they have a stretch where they play at North Carolina, NC State, Clemson, Boston College to wrap up the year. So they could be like 7-0, 8-0 when they get to those games, and top 25. We'll see. But you said yesterday you liked them to go to Virginia and win, and they did it rather easily last night.
Yeah, and for the 14 people who actually cared about Wake Forest before the season started, I mean, I think they looked at that schedule and said that is something they could be 7 or 8-0 and really have some of those marquee matchups towards the end of the season to win their division and maybe sneak up on some teams. But no, they're one of those secrets that just people haven't been paying attention to. But that offense is dynamic. They've got a productive quarterback back, and they're a fun team to watch. And they finally got a primetime game where some people were able to see them and see how productive they were.
Nobody talks about them. We'll at least give them a blurb here when we talk to Brian North every week on the show. There is something wrong with Clemson's offense, Brian. They got 7 points right now at halftime against NC State, and about to pull up the second half of that game and watch it here in the studio. NC State missing a field goal going into the locker room, but man, life without Trevor Lawrence has not been good for Dabo here in 2021.
And some of those receivers as well, and
yeah,
running backs. And I think it's just one of those culminations if you keep losing guys early to the NFL draft, and it eventually catches up to you, and you just wait for some of these guys to get some experience and pay off. And I thought maybe first drive they came out, they scored. I thought, oh, here we go. Who thought that it would be NC State that they would have their offensive explosion, but that hasn't happened so far. And then you just wait for the defense to become opportunistic at that point. But at some point, I think they're going to figure it out. But as the games go on, maybe not. I thought the quarterback looked pretty good when he filled in last year.
I did too. I like DJ.
But you lose a lot of guys every year to the NFL draft. At some point, it's going to catch up to you a little bit.
Appears that it has for the Tigers. Brian, Clemson kind of struggled through a win against Georgia Tech last week. I don't know what that says about Tech's defense, but they'll be facing Sam Howell and the Tar Heels tonight. North Carolina favored by a couple of touchdowns there. You think we see more offense from the Tar Heels this week than we did from Clemson against Georgia Tech last week?
Yeah, you got to look who they're playing sometimes, and I don't know what happened to UVA in that second half, but maybe that gave them some confidence. Matt Brown has said all year he just hasn't trusted his offense because the wide receivers haven't been as explosive as in years past. They haven't had much of a running game. They're starting to find it a little bit. They're starting to trust some of those guys a little bit. And when you can get more pieces rolling and give Sam more options and weapons that the defense has to focus on, that's only going to make him more effective. And the offensive line, as it plays better, is going to be a big part of it. So yeah, look, Georgia Tech's one of those teams that's always seemed to give them fits in the past. But, they're at home. They should hold serve. And I think that the defense will have more to do with it than the offense in the sense that that defense is really starting to come on. And our guy from Jacksonville, Jaquarius Conley, is becoming an NFL safety in his second year there. He's really starting to make some plays in the back, number 0.
Speaking of a local flavor, North, we talked about it yesterday on Pirate Radio Live. A lot of Eastern North Carolina guys playing in this game for Charleston Southern coming up at 6 o'clock.
So I was just down on the sidelines. The reason I'm late getting up to the media dining is I was talking with C.J. Mims, the West Craven kid who's verbally committed to ECU, and his brother, Chandre, is a defensive lineman for Charleston Southern. In fact, he's one of the he holds the single season sack record and is third on the all-time sack record. And we had talked about guys playing against each other, and I remember him sacking Holton Ahlers a couple of years ago. I didn't even dawn on me until I thought of it earlier this morning. He is going against 2 Havelock offensive linemen he used to as well. and Avery Jones and Nashad Strother. So to me, it's those little stories like that. The Demetrius Jones, wide receiver, I think he's wearing a number 11 this year for Charleston Southern. His best friend in the world and high school teammate is Jaira Wilson, the ECU starting safety. So you expect them to collide on the field tonight, and I'm always interested to see what that happens, the immediate reaction after when those guys get on the field. And then there's a kid from West Craven on the offensive line, Crump. There's a kid from East Carteret, Livingston, who's a wide receiver, and then there's Ben Harris, who's a wide receiver from J.H. Rose. So they've really done a nice job of recruiting the Eastern North Carolina area for some reason, and a lot of guys are going there. In fact, there's an East Carteret kid here today, Aiden Hollingsworth, I just talked to, and he's getting on strong offers from them, and ECU is interested in him as well. So he's knocking out two birds with one stone today.
Brian North joining us on the Fixed NC Live line with the local angle on today's contest between the Pirates and Charleston Southern. Brian, East Carolina 25-point favorites in this game. What kind of score are you looking at coming up tonight?
Yeah, look, Charleston Southern is a good 1AA program, but they're not elite. They're not one of those that's going to come in here and knock off the Pirates. I think ECU covers the spread. I think ECU wants to really see a lot of people play today to find out who can play, because they're going to need some depth as the season goes on. So I think they named their score. I think this is going to be one where they can roll it up in the 50s or 60s perhaps and play a lot of guys. So I think it's an alumni and a donor game. This one makes the fans happy because they pay a lot of money and they get to receive a result that they want, and gets them momentum going into AAC play.
50s, 60s. All right, Brian. I like it.
I like my guy Chandre, but I just Charleston Southern is they're good. They're just not. They're not JMU. They're not that elite level yet where they can come in and knock somebody off. So if the Pirates don't turn it over, if they turn it over, things can change. But I think you're going to see one of those coming off of last week. This is one of those deals. You can either be happy with what happened last week, or you can really fuel your season. I think it's going to fuel your season.
I like it. All right, Brian, thanks for joining us, man. Have fun. Did you get a press box food update, by the way?
1AA food.
Burgers, dogs. Yeah.
Spread.
You should have told them you were coming. That's on you.
They probably would have made it cold cut.
North, enjoy the game, man.
All right, see you, Clippy.
North is just enjoying some time out of the house. He didn't care what he's doing right now. Great to catch up with Brian North as we get ready for kickoff. David Ubben, can't say I know who that is, national college football writer for The Athletic, just tweeted out, number 5, Iowa, trails to Colorado State. Number 7, Texas A&M, getting crushed by Arkansas. Number 9, Clemson, tied with NC State. Number 14, Iowa State, losing on the road. Number 24, Auburn, down 2 scores as a 27-point favorite to Georgia State.
24-12 at the half, Georgia State up on Auburn.
Weird score Saturday.
Weird score, #Weird Score Saturday.
And Wyoming has scored a touchdown, so now they only trail UConn by 3, 13-10 in the third.
UConn's winning. Bowling Green won at Minnesota. Our pets' heads are falling off. It is a Dumb and Dumber situation.
Oh, no.
In college football today. Awesome stuff, because honestly, you look at this. Well, I look at the slate every single week. I always look ahead, like, all right, when am I going to be off work? What games am I going to be watching? What am I going to be watching during the pregame? And this was not a very attractive schedule. Like, I guess Notre Dame, Wisconsin, okay, Arkansas, A&M, but those are kind of
interesting.
But a lot of times, those like a worst matchups you get on a weekend. This happens in the NFL too, where you'll get these bad matchups. Oh, that's a boring game. Those are some of the best games. That tends to happen, and it seems like it's happening today across college football.
Early in the show, I was I got my laptop out, and I was scrolling through the ESPN watch, and I was like, oh, I don't like that game. Oh, I don't like that game either. But then I'd get on Twitter, and then I would look, and it'd be like, it was Minnesota and
Bowling Green.
No, it was not. Missouri and Boston College.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, huh. And then I can't remember who it was, but one of them kicked a field goal to force overtime. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll turn that one on for a little bit.
A little bit. These matchups, good or bad, are creating good games with weird scores. So
Weird Score Saturday.
I'm enjoying Weird Score Saturday here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Tyler says maybe it's Weird Score Saturday, so it may be weird enough for us to get a blowout. So he's saying you could go negative here and say, ECU's on upset alert with all these weird scores. He's saying, hey, we hadn't had a good blowout, 50, like Brian North was saying, 50, 60 points. Maybe our weird score would be 63-17. Pirates win.
I want me a blowout.
let's get us a blowout, Coach. Or was that Jerry Jones?
No, it was
Jerry
Rick
Jones.
Smith
and Jerry Jones are kind of similar.
Yeah.
I want me some glory hole.
I want me a blowout.
Thank you, Jerry. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We got our scores. Maybe I should make my score weirder since it's Weird Scored Saturday.
Weird Scored Saturday.
That's hard to say.
Weird Score Saturday.
Saturday. We'll do that. Fantasy pick. Shirley has won 2 weeks in a row with Tyler Snead. So
let's change that today.
No, make it take it.
No, I'm saying let's change that.
You win.
Yeah.
Shirley's make it take it means she has Tyler Snead in tonight's game against Charleston Southern. We will take a timeout, come back, have more for you on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Back with you after this.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
On Saturdays, your team needs you, your sofa needs you, and you need a Jersey Mike's sub. Get it all with free Saturday delivery when you order through the Jersey Mike's app. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. This Saturday, while you watch the game at home, we're watching the grill at Jersey Mike's. Order through the Jersey Mike's app for free delivery on Saturdays, unless you're going to miss hearing this. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
When a storm hits, you can count on Greenville Utilities. They put their emergency storm plan into action to restore power as quickly and safely as possible. If you experience an outage, call them toll-free at 1-855-767-2482. The automated hotline can handle a large number of calls at once, virtually eliminating busy signals, so help can be on the way as fast as possible. Remember, GUC's emergency hotline number is 1-855-767-2482.
This is former ECU football player Bryce Williams, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? Listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or Spotify. Subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device and search for Pirate Radio Audio Archives. And a quick update on a couple of games that we're keeping a close eye on. Of course, as we mentioned before, Georgia State is at the half with a 2-score lead over Auburn. 24-12 is that score. Kansas leads Duke 24-21 at the half. Wyoming is still trailing UConn by 3. 13-10 is that score. Memphis leads UTSA 21-7. Arkansas still holding on to that 17-3 lead over Texas A&M, I should say, in the third quarter. Louisville leads Florida State 31-20 in the third, and Iowa State trying to climb back into this game. They are still trailing Baylor 21-16, and Iowa has tied it up with Colorado State. It is now 14-all in the third quarter. That is a look at your Buck scoreboard. A clip.
Da Buck. Hope you're enjoying your Weird Score Saturday.
Weird Score Saturday.
Weird Score Saturday.
Weird Score Saturday.
I just looked up East Carolina's team total for today for recreational gambling purposes. East Carolina's team total 42.5. Charleston Southern's is 16.5. So if you're curious about that, just look that up. Cav says since it's Weird Score Saturday, maybe Southern Miss can make it a fight at Alabama. Let's not get crazy.
Let's not go there.
Look, it's weird.
That's a little overreach right there.
I mean, I realize UConn and Bowling Green and Kansas are winning and stuff, but if they're in a close game with Southern Miss, this will be the weirdest
Twilight
day.
Zone?
Yeah, this is, I don't know, man.
The Twilight Zone of college football.
The apocalypse is nigh. All right, so, man, it's been a lot of fun here on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Keep you up to date on what's going on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. We got some games coming up tonight that we'll talk about while we're taking your calls on the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show. Going to be a lot of fun with you after the game if the Pirates win, which they should. And we'll look forward to taking your calls on that program. All right, let's go around the horn. And first, we will get some predictions on the game. Let's do that before we make our fantasy picks. We'll wrap up the show with that. So I've already thrown out 38-14 is going to be my final score for this game. Chandler, what is your final score?
I'm going to go with the Pirates 38-10.
All right, so we both have 38. I got them giving up 14. You got them giving up 10. Shirley, what do you got?
I'm going to go with
Go with a Weird Score Saturday score.
Weird Score Saturday.
Weird Score Saturday. 40-20.
40-20.
East Carolina.
20-40.
40-20.
40-20.
East Carolina. All right, fantasy pick. Shirley has won back-to-back weeks with Tyler Sneed.
Feed the Sneed.
He has helped her catching the ball.
Throwing the ball.
He's really helped you more throwing the ball. That's where he's getting his points right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Which,
and I will take them all day long.
Kind of stinks for us. All right, Chandler, who are you taking?
Let's see. Well, I know we're going to try to establish that run game.
Before Chandler picks, I want to hear what Donnie Kirkpatrick's who he's picking today.
Well, and we're going to do this again. We're going to try to establish the run, and we're going to, and this is what I think Chandler's going to go with. we haven't seen this a long time at East Carolina, but we went to the tight end a lot. When we saw Shane Calhoun, Shane, don't call me Sean Calhoun. I really like Shane today. I think we're going to try to give him the ball. I don't know if he'll get 8 receptions like he did last week, but I think give me and Chandler Shane Calhoun.
So that is Chandler's pick. Donnie Kirkpatrick, faux Donnie, is giving Chandler Shane Calhoun. 8 catches over 100 yards and a touchdown last week for the Pirate tight end. You know how many catches he had on the year going into that game?
0.
Zip.
We had 1 catch from a tight end. It was Ryan Jones late in the App State game. That was the only tight end catch on the year before Calhoun's 8 on last Saturday's victory over Marshall.
What was the over-under number that you and I had set?
15.
15.
Which I was looking awesome heading into week 3, and now
he might got you. He might end up taking that one.
Well, if he has 8 today, it'll be over.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Already into week 3.
Yep, that's what we're looking at right now. My fantasy pick, I like Ronnie's thinking Rajay Harris today.
If you were going to go first and pick Calhoun, that's who I was going to pick.
And Mitchell had 100 last week. I think Harris gets 100 and a touchdown today. So I'm going to take not Raji, not Raju.
Not Raju.
Not Rajaiwa.
Oh, you mean this?
So it's not Raji, Raja, or Raja. It's Rajay.
I'm taking Rajay Harris.
Rajay.
As my fantasy pick. Matt on Facebook Live says Pirates 52, Charleston Southern 17. Tyler says the Pirates win 45-15. So people are expecting a blowout. I'm hoping we get that, so we get some fun calls on the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show. It was awesome last week. Let's keep that rolling, folks, this week. Boy, how about this? Pack the Jungle, our buddy on Twitter, tweeting out a picture of Steve Logan at the game.
No way!
Because at East Carolina,
you go for it every time!
Or you don't come to East Carolina. You don't play at East Carolina.
You don't coach at East Carolina.
Write it.
With a weak heart.
With a weak heart.
With a weak heart. I left that part out.
Sorry. Out a weak heart. So Steve Logan in the house today.
That was a good Steve Logan, guys.
Good group Logan for everyone as we wrap up today's show.
Speaking of which, Baylor just scored again. They lead Iowa State 28-16.
Weird score Saturday.
Weird score Saturday.
Let's see if I can find any other weird scores before we get out of here today. What a wild day of college football. Iowa has taken the lead as they are beating Colorado State 20-14 as that score. So they are having less of a weird score. UConn still leads Wyoming 13-10 with 4:50 to go in the third. NC State and Clemson tied at 7. And the Wolfpack, we have a targeting call on Clemson, so stoppage of play right now. Again, Auburn is trailing Georgia State at halftime, and Kansas is beating Duke at halftime. So a lot of weird going on. Let's see what happens when East Carolina takes on Charleston Southern. You can check it out on ESPN+. Thanks for tuning in to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Thanks to all our guests today, Brian North, Troy D. out of the Pirate Radio Tailgate Zone, Stephen Igo, Ronnie Woodward, the voice Jeff Charles, Jeff Nadeau, Billy Weaver, the producers Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, Big Dog Glenn Griffin. Thanks to Community Calzone for the awesome pregame food. Hooked us up, so helped us get through the program today. And thank you for listening and chiming in. We'll be back with you coming up after the game, right when the game is over, on the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show. Shirley Rose, Chandler Honeycutt, I'm Cliff Brock. We'll see you after the game. Go Pirates!
You've been listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates. Stay tuned and join us after the game for a complete recap and your phone calls on the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter call-in show, right here on